Well, just when you thought things would turn the corner, the Cleveland Cavaliers continue to show that they're not even fool's gold. They just bad. They just suck. And chill, I'm starting to think that you're the man responsible for cursing that team. But we're going to get into it, man. The Cleveland Cavaliers might miss the playoffs this year somehow. It has just been an insane season for them. There's a lot of great stuff happening around the NBA, some great performances. We got some great games coming up tonight and this weekend. We're going to get into all of it here at the panel. Y'all know what time it is. This is Swiper. That's Damien. That's Chill. That's Mars. We got more people that will be joining us over the course of the show as well. This is going to be a phenomenal show. Everybody, how we living?
Running good, brother. Running good.
Doing good.
I'm thinking to myself, Swiper, what you just said. To miss the playoffs, I think it would be worse than what's going on with the Clippers. Because I'm considering what the Clippers are doing. Right? The Clippers are a game and a half behind New Orleans for the worst record in the Western Conference. I picked the Cavs to win the NBA championship this year. For them to miss the playoffs, I think that would be way more catastrophic because I expected what I'm expecting from the Clippers. Like, they're old. I didn't expect them to be this bad. I ain't going to argue that point. I didn't expect them to be this bad. But I expected them. I didn't expect what I expected from the Cavs. And for the Cavs to miss the playoffs. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, Damien. I mean, just so we clear, as of right now, even though they're in ninth place, they're a game and a half out the 3 spot. So we're a week away from some good basketball to back to hosting the playoff series. That's where we are with the Cavs. But it has not looked good. No, it has not looked good at all with this Cavs team.
I think they're really lucky that to your point, that hasn't been catastrophic to the point where you're completely out of the playoff picture already. Like the East is, you can go on a run in the East, like we've seen the losing streaks with Miami, for example, when you slip down the standings very quickly. But on the other end, if the Cavs go on a run with these games coming up and they're getting healthier, they can be right back in the mix. Like they're obviously still above 500, but it just hasn't looked good. I think the way in which they're losing is a bit worrying, and they have a bunch of questions. And I think when things go wrong, Chill, it's not usually just one thing. It's usually a combination of things. And I think they have a lot going on over there, which hasn't been working. So a little bit worrying, but I think they can turn it around, especially with the way Donovan Mitchell's playing.
Darius Garland has been pedestrian at best, Swiper. I mean, I'm used to, over the course of not just last year, but even in years past, I'm used to one of the best ball handlers in the game, one of the better distributors in the game, one of the better point guards in the game being that. His ability to score has just looked pedestrian. He doesn't look nearly as athletic. I don't think that because the injury isn't bothering me more than just his play at the lead guard spot. Like, he doesn't get downhill like he used to. And it's not that he's only 25 years old. He doesn't get downhill like he used to. His decision making, it looks very indecisive. His shot selection is not nearly as sharp as it was 2 years ago, a year ago. He doesn't look nearly as confident. And I can appreciate the logic of him coming off injury. Yes, I can definitely appreciate that. But I can't keep using that. At some point, we have to get past that. Right? Is this who you are? Are you an injury-prone guy who I'm just going to have to just deal with you being injury-prone for the rest of your career? Or is this just something that's I'm going to have to deal with right now, and then eventually you'll get back to who you are? And relying on guys like Porter and Tyson, relying on guys like that, who actually Porter and Tyson have actually been really good, but having to rely on those guys more than having to rely on Evan Mobley and having to rely on Jared Allen. As a box, some people are box score watchers, but to see Mars, we had this conversation a couple of days ago. We talked about Trey Jones and how bad he's been in terms of the box score. It's been really worse. It was worse. Jared Allen, Tyus Jones. I'm sorry, Tyus Jones. Like the 6 rebounds you see in the box score from Jared Allen, it was way worse than that on the floor. It was way worse than what you saw on the floor. He couldn't slip a block out last night. Not only could he not slip a block out, he faltered on a number of rebounds, offensive rebounds that he could have had that could have kept them in the game. They got out toughed last night. And one of my biggest issues with Cleveland coming into this season was the toughness. I was worried about how tough this team is, and could that be an issue with them? And it still is. In addition to, in terms of the talent, and I said this to you already, Swiper, when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, they remind me a lot of what your Denver Nuggets were in years past when they rely so much on Joker to do everything for them. And when Joker isn't doing it, it's almost like nothing else is going on. And it's just not, it just hasn't been good. It has not been. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, Damian. They're a game and a half out the third spot. If they can put it together within this 27-game stretch where they could go on a 8-10 game run, because Memphis is doing it. I mean, Memphis has won 9 of their last 12. So, I mean, if the Cavs can put something together like that, they could be right back in the middle of this thing.
And that's
Yeah,
crazy.
hello,
because,
Ken.
like they,
How's it going?
Hello,
oh,
Ox.
there he is.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
He's saying putting together a nice little
I think-
stretch of basketball, 8 to 10 games to get back into like third place in the Eastern Conference.
Do they need to make any trades?
No, here's the thing, Ox, and I'm an advocate of this. Stop letting these guys off the hook. Stop letting these guys off the hook with this trade logic. Do your job. We put this group together. This group has been together for 3 or 4 years now, and the thing that's been hampering them has been injury. Outside of the injury, you have the talent, and you've added some talent to the group. Mars, Lonzo Ball was awful yesterday. He was awful.
Yeah, he been awful the whole season. We ain't gonna say yesterday. He been awful the whole season. That's what it is.
Well, that just adds to it. Let me rephrase that. Him being
Yeah, he
awful
was
yesterday
awful
just
yesterday.
adds to it. So I'm sounding like a broken record when it comes to him. Stop letting these guys off the hook with we need to make this trade. We need to make that trade. Get on your job.
Right.
Do
Real
better.
quick, before you move on, Swiper, real quick. I just want to ask though, and I brought it up yesterday. First, I was saying yesterday like we should just be happy to see Lonzo, and I know that you wasn't feeling that, right, Chill? But how much can you honestly expect from a kid that hasn't played basketball in 2 years? You know, he's just getting back into the flow of basketball. Do we expect Lonzo to be like a huge positive for this basketball team, especially?
I expected him to make shots. Everything, but I think he does everything else I expected him to do. Like I said, I think he's been good on defense. I think he's a smart player. He pushes the pace in transition. Like he does all of those things. But when you shoot, like I think what was it? He's shooting like sub 30% from the field, 25%
Yes.
from three, something like that. Like you're just a non-factor on the court offensively, regardless of like all the other things you do. Like he plays hard, he'll crash the glass, or like he does all of the like, yay. But at the end of the day, he gets ignored on offense, and that's a problem.
Well,
I expect
Mars,
him
this-
to make
that's
shots.
that's like riding a bike though. When you're a hooper, you can always play ball. You know what I mean? Like you can always make the right pass. You can always give effort. You can always do that type of stuff. I think if that's in you, that's just a part of the game. Like you're never not gonna be able to play basketball. But when and y'all talk to me about rhythm all the time, and y'all talk to me about rhythm within one game. So I think if you talk about rhythm that way, where you'll tell me if a guy doesn't touch the rock, 5 possessions
2-3
down,
trips.
he, you know what I'm saying,
2-3
he's not gonna really be able to produce the way you want him to. So if a guy doesn't touch the ball for 2 seasons down, do we really expect him to be that level of
Ox, he played last year in
shooter or-
Chicago, Ox. Just so you know, he played last year in Chicago.
He ain't
And he
shoot
was a
this
rookie.
bad in
He-
Chicago. He ain't shoot
he
well.
was in
But he
that
ain't shoot this
rotation.
bad.
Yeah,
But
he
how
played
much-
in Chicago.
how much-
4%.
But he got back. Wasn't it like late in the season when he got back?
Nah, he played like
He
30
did-
games. He just kept dealing with a wrist injury, so he didn't play
He
like
played
the whole
30
year.
games, 30
He
games.
played
Yeah,
like 30
I'm sure.
games. Shot like 34 from 3. Like if he was shooting 34 from 3, that would be a big improvement from what he's doing right now.
He needs a little grace, fellas. Lonzo needs a little grace.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're
I think the problem is though. Like when I think it's the biggest problem is the contrast, right? The contrast from last season. So they just lost their 13th game. Last year, they lost their 13th game in March, not in December, and they were rolling. And I think that the problem is, like I said, there's been a bunch of things. Chill, you spoke about it. Garland's injury. I think Max Strus being out, he's a big part of their rotation, hasn't helped. A knockdown 3-point shooter. Doesn't look like Mobley's taken the step. We start to question the fit with Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Then we question the fit with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. I still think they're looking for that wing. We thought DeAndre Hunter was that. They're not getting the wing production from him. Like we said, Lonzo Ball still trying to find his shot, still trying to find his place in the offense when we thought he was going to be a big piece and give them lots of optionality and he can potentially finish games because Garland can't be out there defending some of these bigger guards. They just got no defensive identity for me. I think they got no dogs too. Like Ox, you mentioned it as well. Like there's a level of physicality that they don't bring every night. Does a guy like Dylan Brooks change their identity if they had someone like that? It's something that maybe they should look at before the trade deadline, in my opinion, to build some of that defensive identity. And it's a shame, man, because Donovan Mitchell's been hooping. He's the only player in the league to make over 100 threes. But they're 28th in the league in 3-point percentage as a team. So it's not really adding up all around. But we can only hope
Everything they're doing, Damian, is
run.
him. Everything they're doing, Damian, is him. Everything. Like the reason why their offense is in the top 10 in the league, it's because of him. The reason why their 3-point percentage is what it is because of him. Their ability to pass, all of that stuff is because of him. Like without him, they would be at the bottom of the league. And I hate the fact that they rely on him so much to do everything when they actually have one of two things is going on. Either they don't have the talent and I overlooked it, or they have the talent and I'm overplaying it. Something's going on there that's just not correct.
So at this point last year, they were 23-4.
Rolling.
Yeah. There were points of last season where we were legitimately wondering if, because the East is so weak, is this the team that's about to break the Warriors record? It's weird because Damian's mentioning, the 13th loss came in March. That was after things started to go wrong for them a little bit. And it's weird to say that a team that won 60-plus games had anything go wrong for them. But they did slip. They had a 4-game losing streak. Orlando, Clippers, Kings, Suns last year in March. And that's largely how they got those losses. So, I don't know. This is a team that is like, when does Mobley and Allen stop working? At some point, you were, a really good team with those guys. I just don't think they're hitting shots. That's it. It's that simple. They take a lot of threes. They don't make a lot of them. And some of their gunners haven't played. And a lot of their gunners, frankly, aren't gunning.
That's fair. Simple. It was during that stretch, too, Swiper, that he said about that West Coast swing. That's when I thought that Anthony Edwards was going to overtake Donovan Mitchell as a first-team All-Pro, because they went out west and they just stunk. I mean, they ended up losing those 4 games, and I was like, that's the separator right there. Anthony Edwards is going to be a first-team All-Pro over Donovan Mitchell. And I was actually surprised that he made first-team All-Pro even after that. So it's interesting you bring that up.
Well, the funny thing is, Penn, I was looking at the numbers. So when Allen and Mobley are on the floor this year, they actually have a plus 12.5 net rating, the 125 offensive rating, 112 defensive rating, but it's only 199 minutes. So do you think some of the spin is that they just haven't had enough time to have their guys on the floor all at once that are healthy enough to play together?
Sure, I think that's a huge part of it. And I think that they're necessitated by a large part because Darius Garland sucks on defense.
He does.
A really, really bad defender. Like
he does.
No hope, no instincts, nothing. Just really bad and really small. And then you add in, the fact that I think Max Strus makes a huge difference. Huge difference. So it's just a compounding
thing. I mean, we've seen small league guards compete on the defensive end. We've seen Kyle Lowry compete on the defensive end. We've seen Chris Paul compete on the right, but that's the point. But it ain't because he's small. That's not the problem. Because again, Kyle Lowry competes on the defensive end.
Kyle Lowry kind of built like a scat back though, Shill.
But he's still small. Even if he is built, even if he is wide shoulders, wide hips, paws, even if he is built like that, he's still small, right? He's 6 feet, maybe 6'1" at best. He ain't like he's 6'5". With that being said, just because you're small does not mean that you can't compete on the defensive end. And Darius Garland, I have a really difficult time watching him not be able to stay in front of people for a significant amount of time. It's almost like he's a doormat. Like Olay, it's not that difficult to get past him. And his ability to recover is just terrible. I'm having a tough time with it. I am.
He's one of the most experienced rosters. They have some of the most continuity going from last year to this year. The East is absolutely worse. It is. I don't care what anyone says about the depth. It is worse. And this team is struggling. So I did not expect them to lose last night against Chicago, but I probably should have. Probably should have expected that. So, they got to have some deep conversations about what are we trying to do this year, right? Because, they looked chill. Again, I don't want to harp on the past because that is the past and it's a different team now. Do you remember what they did to Miami in the playoffs?
Smoked them dudes, made quick work of them.
It didn't even look like Miami was an NBA team. I had never seen an Eric Spoelstra team lose that badly. It was like, wow, I understand they got injuries, but holy crap, there's a gap. And then what Indiana did to them, I just feel like, I don't know. They just haven't
It
looked
was
the
two
same
different
since.
teams.
Totally
It was two different teams.
My man,
Completely two different.
my man Josh Giddey was giving Garland work last night, man.
Served him.
But
we really have to
That's a super
remember
max player right there.
we had this team,
That's
like
right.
most people had this team as like coming out of the East this year. This was like the make or break year. They're are they the most expensive roster in the league? I think they might be. It's got. I think it's them. So
I gotta know, Penn. I've asked Chill. I've asked this before, and I want to ask y'all again. Why is this the make or break year? These dudes are still young. I don't understand what's if they don't win the East or win the championship.
well, Ox, it's largely because your best pieces are in that like contention window right now, right? Like Donovan Mitchell is very, very much in the peak of his powers. I don't think it's going to get so much better. I don't think it's going to get much worse next year. It's kind of
get better.
he does. He's awesome. Darius Garland, I think, is this year 6 or 7 for him. Mobley's year 5.
Darius Garland showed up in 20.
So yeah, I mean, like this is right around the time, like you put in all those reps, you do deep playoff runs to eventually get to a point where you can compete for a championship. And this is that year. The East is wide open. Their pieces are in their primes. They've invested in like veterans across the board. You know, Sam Merrill's an investment. Lonzo's an investment. DeAndre Hunter's an investment. All these dudes are investments. And by the way, some of your young players are actually hitting. Like Jalen Tyson's good. So it's not like you're super top heavy team and, you know, like you're depleted. Like, no, like you and typically Ox, like, you know, it takes groups like sometimes like 2, 3, 4 failures to get through and break over, right? Typically,
right?
Not always, but typically. So I mean, like, yeah, like I think it'd be very disingenuous to say this is not the most disappointing team in the NBA other than the Clippers.
And on top of that, Ox, do you think with what we have going on right now with the collective bargaining agreement, because you know things get expensive, Ox. You know, as time goes on, things get really expensive, especially for a market like Cleveland. Like we can't afford to keep doing this year after year. You think that Boston Celtic team with the current collective bargaining agreement that we have, if we had this 4 or 5 years ago, you think that Boston Celtic team would have been able to stay together for as long as they stayed together? Because I don't think that they would have. That second apron, I think, would have wrecked them. I don't think that they would have been able to hold on to Jaylen Brown. I don't think they would have been able to hold on to Jason Tatum. So with this current group that they have, we're in year 4 now with Mitchell and Mobley and Allen and Darius Garland. We're in year 4 now.
Projection-wise, Chill, so when you look back at that trade and what it cost to get Donovan Mitchell, would you say they've had a net positive return as an organization?
Well, Miles and I had this conversation about this when they first got him. The idea was they were in the play-in tournament the year before. You get Donovan Mitchell, and I thought that they were a playoff team that year, which they were. And then the next year, I thought that they were going to win a playoff series, which they did. Last year, I thought that they were an Eastern Conference Finals team, and I thought they were on their way to doing that, but injuries derailed that. And then this is the season that I thought that
Miles Turner derailed that, honestly.
No, if that team is healthy, they absolutely beat the Pacers last year.
I do. I think that they beat them. I do. I think
the Pacers last year.
Yeah,
if that team is healthy.
I do.
And
I think it would have been tough. The Pacers were kind of riding like a crazy high at that point.
They were. I mean, they were. Yeah, they were. But that Cleveland team, if they're healthy, I believe, and so I'm just going to tell you what I believe. I believe that they beat that Pacers team. And so that's even more to my point. Like, why would you blow this team up? Yeah, if you maybe you got to move the other guys around a little bit. Maybe DeAndre Hunter, Dean Wade, Sam Merrill, Lonzo Ball. Maybe those guys aren't it. Maybe you move around some of those guys. Get another big wing. I don't know. Maybe Darius Garland and Jared Allen maybe they do got to go. I don't know, but I just don't think so. I think you can work with this team. On top of that, maybe Coach Snyder, maybe he has to come with a different scheme. Maybe Coach got to coach.
Atkinson.
They have they're $87 million over the cap right now.
Snyder's in Atlanta.
Atkins, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Coach Atkinson.
Right. You're right.
I mean, their real coach is in Phoenix.
I wouldn't say Kenny's not their real coach. They definitely are missing part of their identity, though. But to your point, Payne, earlier, $87 million over the cap for a team that is, the teams that are most over the cap right now are the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors, the Dallas Mavericks, Los Angeles Lakers, and then Ox's Sacramento Kings falling right after that, and then the New York Knicks. So, there's
It's expensive.
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. And I think, Chill, we're talking about it at this point. I don't think it's a matter of blowing it up because of the timeline, but paying that amount of money for this kind of return, because you might remember, if you get into repeater tax, that repeater tax multiplies every year. So where your bill goes from 100, 200, 400, 600, it just keeps going. So that's the problem with the CBA. The CBA was designed to keep super teams from being built. Well, it was primarily designed so owners had a reasoning not to pay players a certain amount of money. But then the next one was to make sure super teams don't get built. But now the problem is you got this team that's not a super team. They just happen to have a lot of expensive players because, they hit on their draft. Evan Mobley hit. Darius Garland hit. They traded for Donovan Mitchell. He hit. Jared Allen hit. And then you got like DeAndre Hunter. That was a great trade at the time. Chill. Dean Wade, I think, is a good player. They have good players. It's just, it just takes more than good players. It takes a really great culture to win a championship.
What's fascinating as well, when you look back at some of this Cavs stuff, like how much better would this team be, do you think, if they had Larry Markkinen instead of Jared Allen?
Who did they trade?
And like you think back, like they had him on the roster. I forget now.
Do you remember, Mars, who the trade was for? Because they traded Laurie 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was for Donovan Mitchell.
Oh no, so it was Donovan Mitchell.
It ain't really have much.
And Sexton too. Sexton was in that trade.
It was Sexton.
Laurie Markkinen and Sexton was in that trade.
Because he was the odd man out at that stage, and it's like, would they be better with the stretch 4 now? But I think the elephant in the room is always Evan Mobley. Like, it feels like every year we're waiting for this guy to take the jump. And how much better would this team be if Evan Mobley wasn't 18-8, but he was like 25-12? I think that's the big piece that we're missing here, because Evan Mobley came in, and Penn, you could probably remember, but like Evan Mobley came in with like KG comparisons ceiling wise, and it's like, and it feels like he's far away. He's still young, but like he feels like the swing piece that we're waiting for still. And I think it can change everything. But how long do we wait though?
I really liked Evan Mobley in the draft. I heard a lot of stories about the time that's been going in to develop his handle and guard skills at USC with him and his brother over in LA and shit. And it's just like, wow, like if this actually hits, if this materializes, he's so fluid. But something that I just kind of couldn't get my head around at USC was he felt a little bit like he was avoiding contact, right? KG was not like that. Even when KG was like a little bit younger, there wasn't an aversion to contact. Some people felt like KG should play more closer to the basket, get in the block a little bit more. But KG was tough, like really tough. Mm-hmm. Like he was tough at 19, 20. He was tough. So I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like I've gone kind of from he could be Chris Bosh meets Kevin Garnett to he could be like a really good championship number 2. And the way he's playing this year, I'm more like he might be a championship number 3.
But to be fair, Penn, and not more pushback to you, but maybe just for Evan Mobley's development, I do think he gets blamed for a lot of the stuff with Cleveland. When you watch these games, it's not really Evan that's like the problem. I think he's only in year 5. Like year 5 to Penn's point when you talk about like
this is year 4 that we in. Year 4.
No, this is year 5.
Yeah,
it's 5.
Is this year 5? I'm sorry.
Yeah, and this is year and by the way, this is year 7 for Darius Garland.
Yeah. I think the thing with Mobley is, Penn, you talked about before, when you become a legendary player, year 5 is kind of like the season. Like Jokic won his first MVP, I think,
right
around that time. SGA then turned into an All-NBA first-team player, like around that point. I don't know if Evan gets there, but I also say, bro, like Evan is just also like he's really good. He just the team around him isn't good enough for him to. They need him to be like an MVP level big. But I don't think that's fair to Evan because Evan is like an all-NBA player. I'm a DPOY. I'm 19-9 this year. He's only shooting 49% from the field. So, like, maybe that's some of that will be worked out and develop over time. But, you don't get in your prime until you're 27, 28, 29 years old. So, do you think there's just like there's a world where you get to year 7 Evan Mobley and all of a sudden he's like a different tier of player?
Maybe that is it. But I think that we're the space that we're in right now with him, we're asking for something from a young player that we would be asking for somebody in their prime because of the unit that he's on and because of the development of this unit. I don't think that we would be asking this of Mobley if he was in. So Penn, if he was in Charlotte, if he was in Charlotte's a bad example because I don't want to talk about a team that bad. But if he was on a fringe playoff team, I don't think that we would be. Something like that. Like if he was in Memphis or somewhere like that,
Cavs,
right?
Cavs, I guess.
Well,
yeah, to your point, Mars.
Well, this current Cavs, would we be asking for him to be this all-world player if he was on a fringe playoff team, as opposed to the team that he's on now, which has championship aspirations?
Sure. Where were we with Kevin Garnett? And I don't want to overstress the Kevin Garnett comparisons because I think it's disrespectful to KG. But 1999, 2000, where were we with KG?
But
He's one of the 5 best players on the planet, but
yeah, he finished second in MVP voting, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was 23 years old. So
yes, he was.
But Penn, see,
23.
that's
let some people
first,
tell it was never a conversation between him and Duncan. But.
Right. I don't think it's disrespectful to KG because Evan Mobley's skill set was that good at USC. He came into the league with a very good skill set, and I think it was more so about the build, the way he looked on the court. So I don't think it's meant to disrespect KG. But with that being said, we're gonna have to stop comparing him to KG because he doesn't play with that type of tenacity and that type of viciousness. He just doesn't play like that.
What if he has on
the KG is? He's not as tough as KG. He's the glass cleaner that KG is.
He's not the athlete KG was.
He's not Kevin Garnett.
He's not. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I think Evan Mobley might need to gain 20 pounds.
He's kind of big. He's kind of big.
Gotten bigger. He's gotten
of course, yeah. He's gotten bigger since he was 20 years old or 19 years old or however old he was when he was at USC, whatever. I don't know, but I mean that's a natural. I just think he might want to fill out a little more. I don't know. He can't assert himself the way that I expected him to by now. If you remember, Chill, when he first came in, I was saying that in 7 years we're going to be talking about him amongst the great power forwards. I was saying that about Evan Mobley,
Jalen Duren. What the hell? I'm in the Matrix.
Right, right, and this is what I was saying about Evan Mobley, and I just don't think he's asserted himself that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't think his presence isn't felt in that way,
which is kind of crazy because he won the Defensive Player of the Year, which is wild as hell because he's a second team All Pro, right?
Yeah,
it's not
those are things that are voted on though. You know
we also didn't think he was the best defender in the sport last year for the most part either.
I
know, but remember Victor Wembanyama went down, and then Chet Holmgren didn't qualify. Like,
Chill don't care. He still thinks Evan Mobley was better. So
I didn't think Victor Wembanyama was the best defensive player.
I do think the All NBA second team was relatively valid. I think Evan Mobley was that good in the regular season last year.
I was good.
He's a really good defender.
He would have been All NBA last year.
Yeah. But you make a good point in terms of if we're waiting for Evan Mobley to get to year 7, year 8, year 9, do you think that he's still lining up with Donovan Mitchell's timeline then? Like Donovan Mitchell's 29, but Donovan Mitchell feels like he's playing his best basketball right now. Like, is that going to be an issue too? Like, do you think that'll align?
That's 5 more years. That's what I'm saying. We don't got that kind of time. No. Because Donovan Mitchell is not going 5 years from now. Donovan Mitchell, what is he? 20? Donovan Mitchell's 28. 5 more years from now, we gotta wait. Nah, I think that's way too long. No,
they don't really. I think the thing with the Cavs, Chill, is I know you like the Cavs, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell. That was your title pick, but I think when you actually look at the way they're built, they're not built to win a championship. They don't have the size on the interior. They don't. I mean, as good as your ball handlers are.
No.
I think if you look at, go ahead.
Like Thomas Bryant, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. How much size do you need?
Well, I was more so thinking, I think size, physicality, like more girth, if that makes sense. I think if you look at Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, J-Dub, I mean, they're not like, Chet's not big, but they're physical, like mad. They're super physical, and I think their guards are so big and physical. And I think when you play versus teams like OKC, Denver, the Rockets, which I think are the 3 best teams in the league, I think there's a level of like just aggression you got to be able to play with on a night-to-night basis, because when you play versus Cleveland, it's just not the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all are tall, but you're tall. But Ox knows he's played against a lot of tall people that weren't the most like
tall doesn't mean physical.
You can move them off their spot, and they guards are small. Mitchell, really good player, quick twitch. Darius Garland, I love Darius, but Darius is slight. Like he's slight in person. Like he's a legit 6'1" and slight in person. You know what I mean? Like he's just not the biggest dude. Lonzo, you don't think physicality with Lonzo, but also Lonzo, if he was in a situation with OKC, he'd probably be even better defender, obviously. But I just think they don't have the NBA has gone big, strong, aggressive, and then I think they're tall, quick, skilled to like the 99th percentile.
If they met Detroit would eat them alive in the playoff series.
Right, I agree.
Detroit would
I think
eat them
Detroit
alive
too
in the
right
playoff
now.
series.
See, that's
They,
just
I was
They
listening,
wouldn't want to see that.
I was listening to somebody say that they've been in the practice facility, on NBA radio or whatever. They've been in the practice facility, been with them in the weight room, been with them at practice, all that type of stuff, and they're saying the strongest player on that team is Donovan Mitchell. They're saying like you can't. When you watch it, it makes sense. He looks like the most aggressive, strongest, burly guy over there, and he's like, your two guard can't be your strongest player.
not when you got the defensive player. Not when you got a double rebounding machine in Jared Allen. Not when you have that. You should have tougher players than your starting two guard. I ain't gonna. I won't.
To be honest with you, Chill too. I think they also got a little bullied in that series versus the Pacers. Like Miles Turner and them, like they just moved them. Pascal
Getting bullied by Miles Turner is crazy.
But Pascal's also physical too. I know Penn can probably testify to this as well. Like when he needs to, he can be physical for a wing himself. You know, I just think that like Chill, there's something you need in the league now. Because Chill, when you watch these, like even when you watch the Nuggets and Rockets game, bro, like that was Amin, or even Josh Okogie and them, like we're bumping each other. You play OKC, even OKC Spurs, which I don't even think I was would I hear the next day to talk about that one? I wasn't here to talk about the Knicks game yesterday. I mean, even you watch the Knicks game, bro. Ox, you telling me right now that Miles Turner, or matter of fact, Mitchell Robinson, 3 straight offensive rebounds at the top of the fourth quarter that completely flipped the script of the game? Mm-hmm. And then they had 23 offensive rebounds in that game. For me, Penn, that's physicality. Like that's that's drive. And if you play versus the team with OG Anunoby on it, 6'7", strong. Mikal Bridges, I think a strong physical wing player. And then obviously Mitchell Robinson. And again, people call Cat soft. He's not soft. Cat will get in there and he'll body with you. And then you got Jalen Brunson.
From time to time, but he's not soft. No,
I think that soft thing a few years ago left for me.
He's not soft.
Yeah,
we've seen the Knicks ragdoll the Cavs before, and that was back with Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. Like we've seen the Cavs touch every wall in the building, due to the physicality of the Knicks. But I mean, they were younger, but we've seen it already.
Josh Hart getting,
but I'm also right. There's a baseline level of toughness and physicality you need. Yeah.
But with that being said, I've also seen the Cavs tough out wins. I mean, that Orlando series, that was a dogfight. And yes, Donovan Mitchell was the bucket getter, but it was very physical in that series. And Evan Mobley, he actually stood up to the challenge. Now, the question is the consistency of that physicality. Can you continue to do that? Evan Mobley was actually physical against that Boston Celtic team that won the NBA championship when both Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen both sat out. So I've seen the physicality from Evan Mobley. I've seen it. I just haven't seen it on a consistent basis. And I think a lot of that has to do with me wanting him to be something that he's not. And I've actually come around with this, Ox, because you guys talked about it earlier. Like when he first came into the league, Penn, I thought that I was seeing Chris Bosh step a better defender. That's what I thought that I was looking at, a stronger, better defender.
He is a better defender than him.
That's what I thought I was looking at.
Now, I'm not that high on Chris Bosh. I like Evan Mobley more than Chris Bosh.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought I was seeing a better version of that. Like I felt like he could be better in terms of his physicality, in terms of his defense. That's what I thought that I was seeing.
He is a better defender.
I was turning him into. I was trying to turn him into something that he's not, Mars. I'm trying to make him into Malone, Barkley, like that Garnett, that physical 4-man. That's what I'm trying to turn him into.
Malone and Barkley were physical specimens, though. Like
that's what I'm saying. But and I'm not. That's not him. I think he's more of a face-up big. I think he's more of a pick and pop big who can stick his nose in there and rebound and get with the dirty work from time to time. But he ain't Garnett. He's not Malone. He's not Barkley. Like he's not that rough. He's not that.
He's not Giannis. He's not Julius Randle.
Chris Bosh is better than Evan Mobley.
I'm not even getting into that.
It's not directed to you, Pin, because I don't want to turn this into nothing it doesn't have to be. Don't just let him get that off and y'all walk past that. Y'all know y'all know Chris Bosh is better than Evan Mobley.
I think Chris Bosh is better than Evan Mobley right
five
now.
of y'all know that.
Whoa. I think he's
Right
better
now?
than right now.
Like
agree.
40,
I
40,
agree.
40-year-old Chris Bosh. Okay.
No, I'm talking about Chris Bosh when he was where Evan Mobley is. Like Chris Bosh in year 5. So in 2008, Chris Bosh. That Chris Bosh is better than Evan Mobley. Yes, he is. 100%.
Yes,
and I felt like he 100% is
man.
better than Evan Mobley. And I felt like Evan Mobley could be that good, except a better defender.
Chris Bosh
That's
was
how
a
I felt like him in
soft-ass
terms of that
defender
style of play.
with the Raptors.
That's what I thought he could be.
became a good defender with the Heat.
I didn't
So
say he
don't
was
like-
better than him.
Yeah,
I ain't
so
saying-
Evan Mobley year 5, Chris Bosh year 5, defense not close at all. I watched Chris Bosh get bodied by everybody. Okay, there was that one year where he was auditioning for Miami, where he put on a whole bunch of weight and he looked totally different. He put up some big stats, man. Come on,
Not audition,
I watched
man.
every game this dude played. I refuse to let y'all to borrow a term from Jordan. I refuse to let y'all psyop the whole world and think Chris Bosh was 2 players. He was either the role player who played defense and stretched the floor,
No, you
or
just
he
have
was
this
a
thing
very
where- you just have this
inefficient
thing where
isolation
somebody
scorer who
does-
did not play a lot of
You know
defense.
who Evan Mobley needs a little bit of.
He does one thing that pisses you off, and you can never see past that. So now you hate him.
He didn't
Chris
do
Bosh is
one thing that
absolutely
pissed me
better
off.
than Chris Bosh is
Do you
absolutely
know what
better than
Evan? You know who Evan Mobley needs a little bit more of, Chill? And I mean this. He needs some Kenyon Martin in him.
He'll never.
Oh,
have it.
yeah.
You can't just wake
if
up
he
one
has
day
some
and
of
do
that Chill, some of that like raw, like you know what I mean. That would.
Well, Damien, the question is
Irrational confidence.
No,
No, I
Because
mean it was completely
no,
rational.
no.
And in 2004,
You know what it is?
I'm bored.
it is a
Yeah, he
nastiness
was
streak.
nasty.
That is what you need.
That's right.
Look, I Chill in your
add in
entire
somebody,
history
or
of
do they
watching
have it
basketball.
already? Because
Nah,
Gasol had that. Bryant brought it out of him. Like you can't put
Gasol
that
was
in-
like that already.
First of all,
No, he
Gasol was
wasn't
like that
that-
already. He
He
was
was like that
what I'm
overseas.
and that's what I'm saying. And Bryant brought it out of him. Is Mobley like that?
There ain't no bringing it out of him. No. I don't want revisionist history on that.
So when you-
Gasol
so
was
when you
like
bring-
that with
when you bring
Spain,
Kenyon Martin
and it was like
in-
that with Memphis already. When he got to LA, then because remember what KG
People
said
saw
about
it
him.
more.
Yeah,
People-
he was
people
working KG, but he'd always been working them bigs back in the day. Always.
My point by saying that, Swiper, is he had that in him. Bryant brought it out of him.
It was
You wanna
already
bring
there though.
Kenyon-
That's too much
But
credit
Chill,
for
you
Bryant.
can't bring
wanna
out something
Kenyon
in me
Martin
when I've been
in.
doing
You
it my
wanna
whole
bring
life.
Charles Oakley in. Does Mobley have that in him to bring it out of him? Because you can't put the dog in somebody. You can bring it out of them. They already have it in them, or they don't have it in them.
Sure, either
Which
you
one
have
is
it, or something happens to you in life that puts it in you. And it's not a friend hyping you up. It's something that has to happen to you. Either it could be traumatic in life, something. I don't know. I don't want to give a bunch of examples of possibilities of why you could all of a sudden turn into that type of person. But either you have it or something happens to you that puts it in you. You can't just Evan Mobley's not just gonna all of a sudden wake up tomorrow and be
You need 3 things to happen
Kenyon
to
Martin. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Paul Gasol was ever soft.
I don't think he was either.
That's
I don't know where that
one of
narrative
those
is coming
narrative
from.
things. Because you know what it is? It's because he was 7 foot and he had skill. He had footwork.
that's facts.
He
That's
didn't
facts.
have
Euro.
to bang. He could
That's facts.
hit you with the little. He could
was
hit
a
you with the
Euro.
little jump.
Yeah, well, Chill was
He could
Dirk
turn
was
around,
Dirk
open up
soft
and move.
before 2011.
Hold on.
Dirk used to come through dunking on niggas.
That was a
Sniper.
narrative.
Dirk
Yeah,
used
that's
to-
what I'm saying.
used to be soft.
Was he? No, well,
But
no, I
Dirk
don't.
dispelled the
I'm saying-
narrative. So
Yeah, I'm saying I don't actually know. I don't think he actually was soft. I think what the narrative
Dirk had
was
the
because
soft tag. And
it was the hair. It was the hair. It was doing all this and all that
So
stuff.
who are the European players who
having
I don't know if you have
hair
time for
and
this topic,
shooting
because I
jump
know
shots
Sniper,
that were soft,
hey,
actually
girls.
were soft.
Mark,
Yeah, but like
Mars,
who are
have
the
you
Europeans
seen-
that
Mars,
were
did you-
soft that let the narrative begin? If that makes sense.
Tony Kukoc and them when he played
Tony
for,
Kukoc wasn't soft.
No, I know, but they said that the Dream Team said that in '92 when he played with where did he play, Damien?
Croatia.
He went to
With
Croatia.
Croatia. They said that about him. That's why Jordan went after him because they thought he was soft. But then after the game,
That's not why they went after him.
well, no, well they said that this is the dude supposed to be this, and this. So
Right.
they went after him
Yeah.
over the course of the game. But then they said after they played him, he wasn't soft at all.
They went
Right.
after him
Any
for
wing-
Pippen's
any
money.
Right.
That's why.
Regardless of why they went after him, any wing player overseas without having the teammates that you have are gonna look soft when with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen hounding you the way they were hounding him. So yeah, you can kick a team's ass and be like, oh man, they're soft. And that's just something people say. That's just something that we say. You know what I mean? That's something that we say about them when we beat them. No, they soft. We know a lot of these dudes were not soft. There wasn't nothing soft about Deadlift Shrimp. There wasn't nothing soft about Tony Kukoc. There wasn't nothing soft about Dirk Nowitzki. If y'all remember young Dirk was not some
fresh out of Germany.
He was coming through the lane, two hands dunking the basketball.
Fresh out of Berlin Wall, Dirk.
Right.
Yeah,
was no one soft?
No,
I'm sure there were, Mars. But what I'm saying is there might have been times where Dirk might have played against a physical opponent and got pushed off the block a little bit or something like that, and they just, he's soft because of that. All right, a lot of these Pop Gasol was not soft.
If the soft tag was for sure, Darko Milicic for sure had the soft tag for a little bit. Yeah, he did. But it wasn't just the physical stuff; it was mental too. People thought mentally he was soft. They thought he was soft mentally. And then they Nicholas, how do you say his name? Skidishvili.
Skidishvili.
Was that your draft pick?
Yes, he was. No disrespect to him, but yeah, he was for sure. Like,
let me guess, Jan Vesely too.
So if he was not good in the league, it's because
okay. So
Vladi was not soft.
Let me.
I see somebody in the chat. Vladi was not soft.
Somebody said Mario Hezonja.
But he gonna step over Giannis and he's soft.
Mario Hezonja was not soft. Darko Milicic was not soft. Darko Milicic was stubborn, but he was not soft. I know a lot of people who know Darko. No, he was not soft.
Well, I'm talking about mentally.
It just sounds like
he was
draft bust from Europe.
Okay, this is exactly it.
That's what it was.
One of those bad myths.
It could be a thing. It could be a thing where something happens and they're mentally like whining about it. Like, man, I want to go home or something like that. So then they're like, oh yeah, you're soft mentally, but physically on the court they were still banging.
So you're soft for wanting to go home.
That's mentally weak. Yeah, that's a little mentally soft.
But
if you're crying, if you're gonna cry about it, if you come over and you know something, the adversity is a little too much for you, and you're like, man, this ain't for me. I want to go home. People are gonna say, oh man, he mentally couldn't take it. He was soft.
Just for the chat, just to remind people in the 2000s, if you were European,
maybe so.
If you were European, people thought you were soft. If you were a white with like people thought you were soft, like remember even Nash had that for a little bit.
Stigma.
Nash had
a stigma.
Yeah, it was just a stigma about like how you played. Like it was considered, and you know, you can speak to we're the same age. Like so, if you have a different opinion, obviously, you had Kobe, T-Mac, Vince, Shaq, Duncan, Garnett. Like it was seen as like this is our league. These foreigners, Europeans, stuff, white boys come into this league. They're doing, Manu's doing. All this other stuff. People thought that bracket of people that played in the league were soft. And then what happened is these dudes were good, really good. And then you had players that kind of elevated the narrative. But remember, Mars, after you got done with 2011, Dirk really took that label off a lot of people. And then what happened was, remember you had Dragan Bender that came out of the draft. You had Kristaps Porzingis that happened right after that, and that's why part of Stephen A. Smith
was trying to find
was going crazy.
Yeah.
Like
this isn't going back to where this originated from. To answer your question, Mars. In the 80s, the big man was the big man. The big man was bruising. The big man was tough. The big man was he was just rough.
Yep.
He wasn't standing out on the perimeter shooting jump shots. He wasn't handling the basketball. Sabonis was doing that. Divac was doing that. Not only was Divac doing that, Tony Kukoc was doing that. So that was the European tag. Oh, these dudes is soft. These dudes don't want to play in the post. These dudes don't want to bang. That was the tag on them, right? So then guys like Dino Raja, who was an awesome skill set guy who played for the Boston Celtics, went back overseas. The reason why he went back overseas is because he's soft. Dino Raja was not soft. Dino Raja was a ridiculously skilled big man who was tough as nails, absolutely. And then the influx of the Euro coming in, because we still are living in the big man era, the influx of the Euro coming in, these guys are 6'10", 6'9", 6'11", and they're playing on the perimeter. These dudes are soft, not realizing that just because I have a different skill set than the big man that's playing today does not mean that I'm soft. And that's where the tag of the Euro being soft, and it just kind of generated and it kind of escalated from that.
Sam Perkins was not soft. Antonio McDyess was not soft. There's plenty of African American, athletes that took jump shots. That's I don't
Yeah,
think
but
that
Pin,
makes
you
you soft.
know how that works though, Pin. So we're not saying that they
Yeah.
were soft, but you know how, and that's why I said
I do
Pin,
know
that
it. I do know it because I lived through it, and I remember
right, exactly.
it
So
very,
you
much.
you don't have to be soft for brothers to call you soft. Like
Facts.
you know how
I
it
get it.
goes.
I get it.
Like,
But what I'm saying is, it was always wrong when it was happening, right? I think there are plenty of players that you just referenced that are actually soft or were deemed soft at the time when we're kind of writing over it. There were times where Tracy McGrady was considered mentally soft. There were definitely articles upon articles for years citing that Vince Carter was soft, right? Plenty. Okay.
Tim Duncan too.
Tim Duncan, boring, soft. Kevin Garnett, get your ass in the post. Why are you fading away shooting jump shots?
David
I think
Robinson
that
got that same tag.
this notion that European
David
players,
Robinson definitely got that
especially
tag. He was a
European
finesse big
players who don't come from like super developed countries, being soft is weird as hell to me.
I don't
Because
know why.
I know.
I don't know why.
Why is it weird? Okay.
No, because
Because of what
I
they're
think
good
you're
at.
stuck on.
Let me put into
No, Pin. But I do think in this instance though, you're a little stuck on reality. We are like hypothetical. We don't actually disagree with you. No, I know.
Okay.
We don't actually disagree with you. I think
He's
what
talking about
you're
right now.
missing is like
No,
this was the optics of what was happening. So like people didn't actually think this is okay. It's just or okay or whatever. But again, you got to remember the league was a African American black league, and then you got the influx of foreign talent. And for a lot of folks, like there was a play style, there was all kind of stuff that went
Hood
into it.
dudes too, Swipe, but don't leave that out.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like
I'm just adding a little bit of context to what you're saying.
I know, but
so I'm just saying,
Pin,
no, hang on, chill, post swiper, just chill. Let me land my plane. Okay, I don't think that it is necessarily accurate to broad brush all of the world with one brush. So Manu Ginobili played in Europe, but he's from Argentina. There's a lot of guys that came over from France, from Czech, from Russia, from whatever. I don't think that these players are all growing up in the same systems. Yes, I can still hear you sighing very loudly.
All right, I will
share with you
what we're going to do is real quick. I'm going to get to a splash read, which I said I needed to do a minute ago, and then we'll do that right now, and then we can come back and we can finish this topic. But shout out to Splash Sports, because we got some great things going on with Splash, y'all. Always exciting news. This is obviously a paid segment with Splash Sports. You can do the quick pick with Splash, this new peer-to-peer DFS game where you can pick more or less on at least 2 player projections. Your entry gets matched with other players at the same buy-in and pick count. You get fair matchmaking, compete against people, not the house. You get more strategy, a diverse range of lines, means you can find multiple ways to outsmart other players. You get better odds, so you don't need a perfect card. You have more correct picks than the group, and you can win cash. If multiple players tie for the spot, they split the prize. New users can use code PLAYER for a deposit match up to $50 and a 100% boost on your first entry. Hit the link in bio, build your quick picks, and let's see who really knows ball. Also, make sure you got to be 18 and older to play, 21 or older to play in Massachusetts, Iowa, and Arizona, and Louisiana, 19 or older to play in Alabama, Virginia. Terms apply. Paid partnership. Come run it with Players Choice on Splash Sports and turn those picks into real cash prizes. Also, do we have perhaps a splash of the day, Ox?
I don't have a splash of the day, but I do have quick picks.
Go ahead, brother. Do your thing.
So now that we have a W host like Swiper, I could take the shackles off and really, really get into this. You know, Ron always wants us to play it safe, play it safe. No, Mars, we do it for the love of the game, right? So today we're going to be PRA merchants. I woke up this morning at 4:05 a.m. just to do my due diligence and give you the best picks possible. We're starting with Scotty Barnes against the Milwaukee Bucks, more than 33.5 PRA. Bobby Portis, less than 23.5 PRA against the Toronto Raptors. Then we're going with Victor Wembanyama, a Euro that we know is not soft, more than 34.5 PRA. Get your big ass on the block. Alex Caruso against the Los Angeles Clippers. We're going more than 10.5 PRA. Jalen Brunson against the Indianapolis Pacers, less than 14.5 PRA. And to wrap it all up, my man Bam Adebayo against the Brooklyn Nets, 32.5 PRA. We took the more. We call that easy money.
I like that. I like those picks for today.
Those are definitely going to hit. I woke up at 4:05 this morning.
We've been cooking on
in
Splash
my
Sports as
lab.
of late, by the way. Any
I
NFL
woke up
and
at
then the NBA.
4:02
That's
a.m.
early, man.
And I don't think Scotty Barn going over.
Wait, you woke up at 4:02 Eastern or Pacific?
Eastern.
He East Coast dude. Yeah,
Damn.
Ben's an East Coast dude.
Why,
Yeah,
but-
Ben's an East Coast
Why so
dude.
early?
I don't know. I had to think about whether Scotty Barnes was going to cook the hapless Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah. So, anyways, I will say this very quickly. With everything that went on in the ex-Yugoslavian countries in the 90s, believe me, playing basketball during that time, it was not easy. And I remember a player who came up in the 90s and was eventually drafted in 2000s. He was in the youth leagues, and he was drafted by the New York Knicks. Never ended up actually playing in the NBA, but he was not soft. And he once told me, he's like, we would hear sirens when the bombs were going down, and we were dribbling basketballs and doing basketball drills. And we knew that the gym was like one of the safest places to be, because we knew that the Americans were not going to drop bombs on the gym, because they knew that's where the American athletes were being trained. The NBA players were being trained. So to put into perspective, like to have hospitals and factories being bombed like literally 2 blocks away from you, and you're still playing basketball, you can't be soft. You know what I mean? And Dražen Petrovic was not soft. Toni Kukoc, I mean, to each their own, whatever, right? There are plenty of players from Europe that came over that weren't soft. And I don't think Arvydas Sabonis was soft. And if you listen to Rasheed Wallace talk about Arvydas Sabonis and that towel throwing incident and the locker room fight that almost ensued afterwards, you will realize that Arvydas was not at all soft. So I don't think that, guys like
Could you speak on
Luka.
Vlade too? Because a lot of people have that misconstrued. I don't think Vlade was soft at all, even when he was playing with the Hornets and the Lakers.
I don't think Vlade and Pedro were soft at all. They had some bad habits off the court that I will not share on a public podcast that I wish they didn't have. But, like ultimately, like I don't think they were soft. They were a little bit finesse, as in like they didn't invite contact to the level. Like I think Dražen Petrovic.
That's where the soft tag comes in.
Hey,
though,
Frank,
man.
you're kind of an idiot in the chat. I'm
Yes,
not gonna lie
sir.
to you, bro. Like a big one.
Yes, sir.
Damn,
That's what
respect Demon Frank.
That's
No,
what
because I think people because they don't listen well. I think we're talking about narratives that were not true, but why they applied to people.
Right.
That's
Right.
I think
Right.
people are missing, like, this is reality of what was actually happening. But
Because
it
to
is
your
what
point,
it is.
But why
Because to
is
your
it
point, Ben,
okay,
right?
Swiper? Like, and I'm not even saying that you're justifying it. I'm just saying like let's be accurate about why it was wrong. It was wrong because
Right.
it was ignorant. It was wrong because we were
it's
othering
basketball.
people. No,
Yeah,
we
it's
were
basketball. That's the way
othering
it works.
people. It was xenophobic. If nothing
No,
else,
but I think
damn,
Pin,
they are
you're
coming
getting,
to take our
but you're
jobs.
getting, Pin,
sounds
the
a
issue
little
is you're
bit
getting,
like
you're no,
build a
but I think
wall,
you're
you know what I mean?
going to war and bombs. Basketball is a different. It's when you play
Respectfully,
basketball on a floor.
y'all went to war and bombs.
What you said? What?
I said respectfully, y'all went to war and bombs.
Y'all went to war and bombs.
Just keep going,
Yeah,
Swiper.
America.
All right, yeah, Pin, just for real. I think some of this is you get so wrapped up in like what shouldn't happen, and I think we are simply talking about what actually was going on, even if we didn't agree with it. So I think it obviously was xenophobia. So it's not even a conversation of whether it is or not. I think the issue is that this is the reality. It was also the reality as of a few weeks ago, years ago. Just like how people talk about Jokic, how people talked about like you couldn't have a best player in the world who like didn't play this way, look this way.
There's
sound
still
this way.
people
That's
who
just
think Euros are
that-
soft. There's
yeah,
still
that's-
people who
just
think
the way it
there's
works.
still
It's
things
like-
like that.
Yeah,
there's still
it
things.
is
I just
it's
did a-
xenophobia, but
just
I
did a
think
pi-
but I think the issue is that people are, when they get so tied in on like something being wrong, but then you're just missing the context of, well, it's not about something if it's wrong or not. This is just the way people think. Like this is why these narratives existed. Go ahead, Damien.
No, I was just gonna say, like, to Chill's point, like, it still exists in some circles as well, depending on the situation. Like, I just did a piece on Igor in Brooklyn, who basically openly admitted that he's struggling to adapt to life in New York, coming from Utah, coming from Europe. And after speaking to some people in Brooklyn, it's like, yeah, this guy's really struggling. Is he built for the NBA? And he's just a kid, man. Like, he's just a teenager. But those things still exist in some small circles, depending on the situation and players' background. So I think hasn't fully gone away. Like, we still hear it,
All the time.
we still hear things like, how can Austin Reeves be so tough? Like, he's a white guy. Or how can, like, certain guys be tough? Like Luka had that stigma. Like, can Luka translate not just his skill, but also can he be a dog in the NBA? Like he was in Europe. Like, there is question still. It still exists, and it's wrong, because I don't think most of those guys were soft, but it's just a poor stigma that's sort of stuck around.
But it's the same thing, by the way, in the context of the NFL, where like they asked Des Bryant, they asked him if his mom was like a prostitute, like before the draft. The context of Lamar Jackson before he was drafted, when he fell to 32, they said that he can't process, like he needs to go play wide receiver. It's just the way sports has narratives and has stereotypes. And so the issue is like most of those things are untrue.
It's a white collar bias. Let's call it what it is. Okay. The vast majority of people who own sports teams have, very cushy backgrounds. Okay. They're not coming from the inner city. A lot of people, most people prior to, podcasting exploding and, maybe more diverse people getting into the coverage of the NBA has largely been a college educated, suburban kind of game, right? Like you look at the media room in the 1970s. How do you think they see the game? Now, you may see it as a compliment to call a player, hardened or soft. But there's like an old dude out there with his little beat grunt, pen and paper, writing down notes at a media scrum right now that thinks if you didn't come from the hood, you're not tough enough to play in the NBA. He thinks if your dad isn't in prison or, your mom wasn't on crack cocaine, that you're not tough, that you haven't seen enough of hard life. So when they see a guy like Austin Reeves or some shit, or they see some guy from Europe, from France, from Italy, whatever, they're like, oh, that guy is soft. Not regarding the fact that slums exist in France, man.
Yes, they do. Yes, they
a
do.
lot.
And to bring it back to what you were talking about, Penn, Evan Mobley in this particular situation, kinda when he was first coming into the league, I thought that he played more like a Euro, but had some qualities.
What is like playing like a Euro mean? Just your skill
playing on the perimeter. Yes, he had a lot more skill set than other guys did. Like he was more of a face-up guy. He looked like he could shoot the basketball. He looked like he could put the ball on the floor. So with that being said, he looked like he could be more of a finesse big. But because of what I seen from him as a defender, I wanted him to be more Malone, and instead of accepting that he was probably more Chris Bosh. He was probably more of a finesse big. That doesn't mean that he's soft, even though he does have some soft tendencies. That doesn't mean that he is soft, but I was expecting him to be something different than what he was. Now, this conversation got started with us talking about Mobley, and then it kind of pivoted to Euros being soft.
Yeah, it went from a lack of physicality on the Cavaliers to
this
Well,
kind of
we do around here, man. We go around the world in our segments.
That happens when you got six of us up here and we're talking. Good. I think this is still a good conversation to have, and also to that point though, it's a mental thing too, and I don't think that matters on where you're from. There's mentally soft and tough people from all walks of life. That doesn't too much matter.
At some point, Ox, as a ball player, as my best friend, for example, he played in the NBA. His name's Roderick Rhodes. We went at it the first time we went at it. When I tell you that he kicked my ass, he was better than me. But my mentality was the next time I see him, that can't happen again. Right. Even if he did outplay me. That's not happening again. You're not just going to kick my ass. That's what I think about when I think about.
I mean, Peyton Manning, the Manning family from money, they were dogs. Like, so I mean, you can come from money and be a dog. It ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, it is what it is. Well, y'all, we got to get the crunch time chats. Good conversation.
Definitely. I know for a fact. My bad, Swab. I just wanted to say this though too, because I said something in Penn just to wrap that up. Because I said something about Euros coming over and not necessarily being able to adjust to certain adversity, and then maybe wanting to go home and not being looked at as soft. That's not just a European thing either. That happens to Americans in America. I went from Sacramento to Seattle. It took me 5-6 months to adjust. I had never been so cold in my life. I was like, I'm ready to go home, bro. I'm done with this shit.
I have a unique perspective on this. Covering the Raptors here. Almost everyone who plays for our team comes from either the States or Europe. We rarely have Canadians. So being in the NBA's lone international team, I've heard a lot of players talk about, missing the United States, missing culture, missing, things that they're used to, right? Like we had that entire Chris Broussard thing about, how like Canada might not be super friendly towards, African-American culture and stuff like that. It doesn't mesh, la, la, la. A lot of people missing ESPN. A lot of people missing a lot of stuff. But then we also had guys like Andrea Bargnani come here, Roko Leniukic come here from Europe, and they also, this is completely different to them. So it's not, I don't think it's soft to miss home. I don't think it's soft to like miss your favorite TV shows. I don't think it's soft to miss your family. I don't think these things are soft.
I don't think any of us think those things are soft.
And Penn and
chill, we got to get the crunch time chats.
I know we got to
get. Yeah, we got to get the crunch time chats. Yeah, I appreciate everybody having the conversation though. Shout out to everybody that's in the show. We got over 1,300 people watching this. Make sure, do us a favor. We're on the way to 150,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. We are moving all the way up, as you can see on Player's Choice. You want to talk about the Cavaliers game versus Chicago Bulls? Well, guess what? We're going to get into Eastern European top politics. We're going to get into United States politics. We're going all around the world. This is what we do. We talk about everything that has to do with the game of basketball. So make sure that you tap in. $10 super chat from Bob. The issue with the Cavs, Allen, Mobley haven't played together for multiple games. They lost their three-point shooters and putting all their faith in Donovan and Garland. Their small forward, power forward are questionable. Go Knicks. Go. Are they questionable?
Which goes back to what we originally talked about. Like, when have we seen this group, because they've grown up, like when have we seen them whole for an extended period of time before last season? And don't forget, Garland broke his face 2 years ago. When he came back in the playoffs, he ended up breaking his face.
That's what I was going to ask Ox as well, because Ox has been really patient with a lot of teams this year, Orlando and things like that. And you've ended up being correct. Are we jumping the gun a little bit, Ox, on the Cavs? Like, could they come good this season? We're still sort of less than 30 games into this thing.
I think so. Absolutely. I definitely think so. It's way too early for me. Like I said, I got to give them at least to the beginning of February, especially a team like the Cavaliers. With the team like the Clippers, it's kind of like, all right, we're about done with y'all. But with the Cavs, I absolutely think so. Because to Chill's point, they've dealt with injury. And Donovan Mitchell's playing great. I think we have to give the Cavs until the playoffs. As long as they're in the top six seed, I think we have to give the Cavs a little bit of grace.
The reason why I'm in the rush that I'm in is, one, because the parity that we live in this league. I mean, we've had 7 different champions, and on top of that, Ox, because of what the second apron is, and you won't be able to hold crews together for as long as you were able to in years past. Like having Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum together. I mean, these dudes been together 8 years, right? I don't think you're going to be able to do that. So you got to strike when the iron is hot. I can definitely appreciate your logic that we still got some time. We don't have much time though, and the way that
got 3/4 of the season left, Chill.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So I'm not so much talking about the years past. I'm more talking about this season. Like if y'all if it's a financial thing and it doesn't work out this year and they have to blow it up, okay, cool. But as far as this year goes, I don't think we should be ready to close the book on the Cavs yet. I think we should give them a little bit more time, let them figure it out. They have a great coach. They have great basketball players. I think we should give them some time. I know y'all said y'all think Detroit would pretty much kick their butt in the playoffs, but Chill, I want to ask you, who in the East do you think the Cavs can't beat in the playoff series?
Knicks.
Like absolutely cannot beat, Chill.
Pistons.
Are they whole? Are they whole?
Yeah. Healthy. Everybody healthy. Everybody's healthy.
Healthy.
Except for obviously Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. Everybody's healthy. Who can't they beat, Chill?
Because I was going off of Damian, what you said, like right now, right? I was going off what you said right now, and right now, with this Detroit team, I think that they would kick Cleveland's ass. If Cleveland is whole and they got
April,
we got everybody, I think Detroit. I don't think there's a team in the Eastern Conference that Cleveland couldn't beat. I don't think there's one team that they couldn't beat. Not one.
So yeah, Damian, I think we got to just hang on tight. I believe.
And I think that Knicks series would be rather quick, Chill, but I do think it will be a good matchup.
Why would it be quick? Again, we're talking about everybody being whole.
The Knicks are because the Knicks are pretty good, man. They're pretty good.
So is Cleveland.
Team.
So
I don't think they.
And I understand I understand the idea of attrition with the roster. I get that part. Like,
no, it's not even that. I just don't. I'm looking at this Knicks team, and I'm just kind of like. I mean, everybody's healthy. I mean, they're big. They go Mitchell Cadigan shoe. You're cooked.
Who has a better backcourt, Joe?
Cleveland.
Are the Knicks the 4th best team in the league, by the way?
Yeah,
I don't know about
or
that.
fourth or
I
fourth.
think so.
Or
I feel like I
fourth or fifth.
trust Jalen Brunson a little bit more, and Mikal Bridges.
Then Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. Donovan Mitchell killed it in the playoffs, but if
I mean,
I
we've
have to look
seen them, Mars. We've seen them get busy in the
Chill,
playoffs, just
if
like
I'm
I've
looking-
seen Jalen Brunson get busy in the playoffs.
If-
I'm not going to
Trust
argue that
Jalen
point.
Brunson more.
okay, so Mikal Bridges
He's a
having
bad
like
player.
Mikal Bridges having like the best year of his life. I think like it's time we stop ignoring. Like he's having absolutely a
He's
career
having an
year.
awesome season. Yes, he is. He's having an
Him
awesome
and Jalen Brunson or Darius Garland with the way he's
Mhm.
playing right now, and Donovan Mitchell, I got their backcourt. Front court, I'll give me OG, bro. Like I don't know what Max Strus gonna bring to this front court, but give me OG and Cat and Mitchell Robinson and Josh Hart. So I feel like they got him beat in the front court and the back court. Now I might be prisoner of the moment, and obviously if Max Strus comes back and the shots start hitting and DeAndre Hunter isn't so ass and Lonzo Ball figures it out, maybe they'll be better. I just feel like this Knicks team and this Pistons team is like kind of like in a tier A. And then I feel everything below them is tier B, C, D.
Right
and
now,
I don't
yes,
know
I can
right
get
now
that.
if Cavaliers are a B team or a C team, but they're not an A team.
I can
They're beating
definitely get with
Orlando
that
in a
logic.
series.
But I've also going back to the logic of them being whole. I was on playback watching the Knicks with Donovan Mitchell out of the lineup, with Jalen Brunson in the lineup, with Mikal Bridges in the lineup. I was watching them, and I watched Darius Garland smoke them dudes in Madison Square Garden last season. I did see that. Now, it was last season. I can definitely get with that because we're talking about the moment right now. Now, if we're fast forwarding 3 months from now, when these guys get whole and they start playing better, I think that the attitude would change because when you're talking about a front court, I have seen Evan Mobley be a better front court player in terms of a rebounder, in terms of a rim protector, in terms of a bucket getter when he faces up and when he goes to that jump hook with his strong hand. I have seen Jared Allen be elite around the rim and be a rebounder and be tough as nails. I have seen that, and I'd like to think that he's not the same dude today in 2025-26 that he was when the Knicks dragged him in the playoffs 3 years ago. I'd like to think that he's a lot different. Now, when you're talking about a guy like Josh Hart, who's the ultimate dirty work guy, same thing with OG Anunoby, who is the ultimate dirty work guy. When you have dirty work guys like what the Cleveland Cavaliers have, right, Mitchell Robinson, when you have dirty work guys like what the Cleveland Cavaliers have in Bryant, in Mobley, in Jared Allen, Bryant, the big kid Bryant that played for Indiana last
Thomas
year.
Bryant.
When you have
he's a dirty work guy.
Bryant, yes, he is a dirty work guy.
Evan Mobley's a dirty work guy.
Yes, you can't be just because I'm a bucket getter and just because you can't be a great defender and not be a dirty work guy.
Well, I mean,
you
but
have to be able to do
you
the
said
dirty
Josh
work.
Hart and Mitchell Robinson and OG. I mean, that's a different tier of like those kinds of players.
Is it like when I see the Cavs?
Yes.
When I see the Cavs hold, this is the same Cavs team last season. This is the same Cavs team last season who they had. I think they were 6th in the league in defense. Not only were they 6th in the league in defense,
No, they fell.
Evan
they fell
Mobley-
further than that.
well, they fell further than that because of injury. They fell
No,
further
their defense.
than that
their defense was just not good for
because of
March
the
on.
attrition of their roster, no doubt about that. But I think Swiper, what you're doing is you're not taking into account when they're whole and when they're
No,
on the
I'm
same
hearing
page.
you, but I'm also saying
I
they're
can-
also just not OG and Mitchell and Josh Hart. Josh Hart, just him alone would be he would change the Cavaliers team. Him alone.
And Mobley does too. And so does Mobley. Mobley changes the dynamic of their defense. Not only does Mobley change the dynamic of their defense, so does Jared Allen. And it also changed the dynamic of their offense. I've already seen Josh Hart plenty of times where he's been exposed defensively. He's not nearly as good defensively as you give him credit for. He can get on the glass 100%, but that kind of stuff can be neutralized when you have a guy who is as big as a guy like Mobley and can keep him off the glass. Now, when you're talking about being a defender, we can go after him because we've seen him be exposed as a defender 100%. OG Anunoby, the same issue that the Cavs are having, the same issue is with OG Anunoby, but he's whole right now. He's healthy. When he's not, that's a problem for the Knicks, which is the same problem for Cleveland right now. So I don't think that with this Cleveland Cavaliers team, if they were able to stay healthy, that it's just a wash against the Knicks. Like the Knicks would just rough them up. Because I don't think that they're the same group that they were 3 years ago. I think that they're a lot tougher than they were 3 years ago. They do need to get tougher. I'm not going to argue that point, but I think that they're tougher than they were 3 years ago.
Next super chat, Anna Monica Studios 2884. The 25 Cavs pre-trade deadline were special. So that was chill. That's when your Cavs were going on a crazy run.
Weren't they? If I'm not mistaken, I think that they're working on their second 15-game winning streak.
Was that when they had the Boston game chill? And they were down like 24 in the first quarter or something like that, and then they came back and won that game.
20. They were up 20, and then
did Boston win that game or Cleveland won that game?
Yeah, Boston won that game. Cleveland was up like 25-3, and then Boston came back and beat them. Yes. So
Houston beat them in that stretch too. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland was so special, man, last year.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to the East Finals last season. I was convinced of that they were at minimum an East Finals team. That's what I thought that they were going.
Indiana packed them up.
Yes, they did. Got them up out of there, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them, man. Hopefully they get back and they can do what they need to do. We got Anatomica Studios, $10 super chat for Penn, or rather this one's in general. What a series that you would like to see. The 18 Boston with a pre-injury Hayward versus Golden State. The C's may lose, but from 15 to 19, those games were good. They work better in 18 than 19.
Yeah, the result would have been the same, but I would have been interested. Yeah, sure. It would have been more interesting, maybe. Man, you get to see LeBron put on a monster class in game one. But yeah, it would have been cool. I don't think anyone against those Warriors teams in the finals is really that compelling. Like, they were all going to go there to get fried. So
that's an interesting scenario. Another $10 super chat. Drink more water. $10 super chat. The Cavs combo reminded me of a question for Swipe. Many times you have attributed the league going larger to Denver winning the chip. Can you say the same for two larger teams in 20 LA and then the 21 Milwaukee? I do think that has something to do with it. I think obviously Brook Lopez and Giannis being big, especially in the Eastern Conference. I think that's when the Evan Mobley, Jared Allen thing really became something to look at. Obviously, then with LA, the Nuggets already had Jokic and Millsap. I think if anything, that series with LA, that's when they knew they needed to get another four that could play defense next to Jokic. Because when they went LeBron, AD 4-5 against Jokic, that was a nightmare.
Yep.
So,
and then bringing
then they had
like,
Plumlee as a back.
Yeah.
And then bringing, I mean, with Howard coming off the bench, with what's the other big kid's name? JaVale McGee coming off the bench. JaVale McGee coming off the bench. I just felt like their front court was what ultimately outlasted Denver. I mean, James was awesome, no doubt about that. But their front court was what ultimately outlasted Denver. So that was probably
that Dwight
LeBron still being peak LeBron also.
2019 and 2020, both teams had like pretty large front courts. Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, Pascal Siakam. That's pretty large. And then the Lakers with Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. That's pretty large too. I don't see how those two teams win championships and then somehow Denver ushers in the trend. But
I think it's because the Golden State won in 22, and that was kind of the last small ball type season. Remember, they went against Horford and Rob Will that year in the finals, and then they were just like running around the Celtics. Like, Jordan Poole didn't have a crazy series, had really good moments. Steph obviously had a crazy series. They were just kind of, I think that was the last iteration of, because then the next year, their Carlton Towns and Rudy Gobert. Was that it? And Carlton Towns and Rudy Gobert were the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then obviously you had the Nuggets in Denver, and then iHeart and Chet and stuff happened after that. So I think it was just a progress. It was just like the league just went big, from maybe 19 to 23 to 24 and all that kind of stuff. But there's another game, y'all, that happened last night that I think would be very interesting to talk about. So yesterday, if you watched, there were only two games that were played in the NBA, but you had the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. No Anthony Edwards, by the way. They're still holding him out, just obviously with some injuries. But the Grizzlies won 116 to 110, you all. And the Grizzlies in the last 10 games are 7-3. The only losses they have are to the Utah Jazz, the San Antonio Spurs, and then to the Denver Nuggets. And if you look in the last 5 games, they're 4-1. With wins over Portland, the Clippers, and then Minnesota. Y'all, are they turning a corner?
Break up the Grizzlies, Swiper. I think they won 9 of their last.
Eased up. That's what has happened.
They played the Clippers twice.
Their schedule's eased up. That's what has happened.
But wait a minute, though, Mars. We're talking about it. I mean, with their schedule easing up, they're a bad team too. At that point, I mean, it wasn't like they were.
They were a bad team because they had a schedule that was slightly more difficult. So
Yeah?
they lost to the good teams.
Are we
They're
saying
now
this is like a
playing
jar thing, or
No, I'm saying they're just playing the softer part of their schedule. So they're better than their record showed after the first 10 games. So
Kinda
there was no need
Minnesota.
to be like, oh my god, the sky is falling. It's like, no, you had a tough start to the season. You played like a Miami team that was hot. The Warriors started off decent. The Suns, the Lakers, the Raptors, the Pistons, the Rockets. Then you end up playing OKC, New York, Boston, Cleveland. Like you had a tough start. And then once your schedule started easing up, and you see New Orleans and the Clippers and the Kings and then the Clippers and then Portland, who are struggling now with no point guard, and the Jazz, which should have been a freebie, but you lost that one. Then you see the Clippers and you see the Wolves without Ant. Yeah, your schedule eased up and now you're winning games. Like that's the ebbs and flows of the season. They were probably
Which is
never as
something
bad
that
as their
we-
early season starts suggested, and they're probably not as good as whatever Swiper just said their record is in the last 10 games is. Like,
7-3 and
truth is
4-1 in the last 5.
yeah, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. They're
Last
a
12.
decent team. They're an okay team that I want to see fully healthy, which is also a thing. We
You know
haven't seen.
what? Do you know? Yesterday was the first day you could officially vote Cam Spencer for All-Star.
Yesterday was that day. I think it closes on January the 14th. Yeah, that happened.
Cam Spencer's
And
really
He was the way- yeah,
like
the way
he's
he
really
was-
good, and he is not soft at all. Just
shout out to my
saying
man
that.
Jock Landale as
for
well.
a
Man.
50-something pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Fox.
Jock was amazing last night. You know, and Jaren Jackson turning a corner. Cedric Howard's really good. Cedric Howard is really good, and Zach Edey is out right now, but you know he's been really good too. John
Doing
Conchar,
this without-
Santi Aldama, they're just a really interesting team. You know, like most teams, when you have a big money player like John Morant playing like absolute ass, and then you have another big money player in Desmond Bane who got shipped out for a bunch of picks, they usually regress pretty hard. But this Memphis Grizzlies
Yeah.
team is just like they're finding a way.
They have another big
And
one.
Jalen Wells be
as
traveling.
well, by the way, but it's cool. Jalen Wells don't. Jalen Wells don't agree with that. By the way, I don't know if it's
Oh,
the
that was
response,
funny.
but
That was funny.
Jalen Wells be disagreeing with you, Pen.
Dude,
So
I
you don't
was
agree.
watching that game and I was like, this is egregious. What is going on? Maybe Jordan's right. Like the NBA is washed. Like, what are we doing here? You know?
So
He
definitely a lot
moved
of
his
uncool
pivot foot like
travels.
5 times, yo. And then the dude has the
No, the
nerve to
floor
respond
moved.
to me
He
and
didn't
tell
move
me
his
I didn't
pivot
see
foot.
nothing
The floor
wrong.
moved
Oh,
beneath-
shit.
The floor moved beneath him. He didn't move his pivot foot. That's what, because you know the earth spins and stuff. So the floor
Oh,
was
okay,
moving.
got
not-
you, got you.
Exactly.
Got
His pivot foot
Y'all-
actually stayed in the same
y'all
place.
got y'all got refs scared to call blow their whistle.
for
Nobody
real,
came
I
to
don't
see
understand
you,
that.
ref. Nobody came to watch you play, ref. Get to stay out of the game. So now they're like,
Well, there's more fouls being called this year than
I've
last year, to be
watched
fair.
Ox ref. I don't listen to him criticizing refs.
I'm a terrible ref. I'm a terrible ref.
Okay,
Ref
first
is-
of all,
They're scared
so
to blow their whistle. Like I ain't see you.
you
just watch it
100%
travel
saw the
and do
game.
nothing.
Y'all s- I'm sure you
I mean,
saw
y'all
that
weren't
that
screaming at
Houston
me
Denver
hard.
game.
I was kind of shook. Like, all right, should I call it or not? You know?
That Houston Denver game, the officiating was pretty bad in that game. If we're going to be honest about it.
It was
But
bad.
We
In
seen
the
that
clutch
last 2-minute
especially, it was
report.
bad.
They said their mistakes. It's cool. Houston
But back to Swiper with this Memphis Grizzlies team. Swiper, I just saw last night, and I'm not trying to hear this from you no more, Mars, because once you show me you could do something, I expect it on the regular.
Oh, he got some rebounds.
Not some.
Yeah,
And
got
he
12.
did it against glass cleaners in both Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert. I got
Julius
a
Randle,
double-digit
glass
rebound
cleaner.
game. Yes, sir. He did it against glass. Swiper, you don't think that
7
Julius
rebounds a
Randle
game, glass cleaner? That's like Windex. That's Windex. 7 rebounds a game, glass
Julius
cleaner?
Randle.
Okay, Windex 100.
Yeah, shout out to Jaren
No,
Jackson.
he's saying he pulled down
had-
12 yesterday, so he should.
Yeah,
get
shout out to
12
Jaren
now.
What's your
Jackson.
problem with
He got 12. He got 12 rebounds in a game in which the Timberwolves missed.
Glass
about 50
cleaner is like when you
shots.
outside in the
Congratulations.
little booth.
Not
like
only
doing
did
this.
they, to be honest with you, Miles, I think that was the difference in the game. Like if you look at the box, if you look at the box score, you look at the box score, and you'll see, Rudy Gobert had 16 rebounds. He got busy yesterday. No, he didn't. So there were plenty of sections during that game. Like they had stops, but Rudy couldn't come up with a rebound, or Julius Randle couldn't come up with a rebound. He had a rebound. It was in the third quarter. He had the rebound. Santi Aldama, he ended up smacking it out of his hand. They get the ball back, and he ended up scoring. Rudy Gobert in the third quarter gets another rebound, and instead, like a big man, Ox, what do they tell you when you get rebounds, Ox, as a big man? Where do you put the ball?
Chin it.
Yeah, not Rudy. Rudy got the ball down here, and Santi Aldama comes and rips it from him. So, I mean, there were plenty of times where those rebounds and those second chance opportunities gave Memphis opportunities to not only get back in the game, but win the game. So don't let that box score fool you when you see them 16 rebounds. Absolutely not. Don't do that. No,
12
but
rebounds under 20 and 10.
I dig this kid Coward. I do. He looks like a building block. He looks like the kind of player that I can add him to my unit, and we're going to be really good. I like him coming off screens. I like his catch and shoot game. I like how he chases on screens. I like how he competes on defense. Him and this kid Wells. I hear the Damian. I hear the traveling logic, but he does a lot of other good things on the floor. He does a lot of other good things on the floor. No doubt about that. When they get Zach Edey back, this is another team, Moss, to your point about them being whole. When they get Zach Edey back, I mean, I think that they're a better rebounding team. They could be a better defensive team. And if
he's been good, Chill, as well. Zach Edey's had a good season.
Yes, he has. Zach Edey, I think he's been almost a double-double guy. And if we're being honest, they've historically been better when Ja's been off the floor. Like when Ja goes out of the line, that's just been they've been great with Ja on the floor, but when he comes off the floor, they don't lose much. They win games with him not playing. So with that being, and it doesn't help now that Ja has been playing as bad as he's been playing. That does not help. No. So to be honest with you, I have no problem moving forward with this kid Cowher. I have no problem moving forward with Zach Edey. I have no problem moving forward with this kid Wells. I like what I'm seeing from this group. I do.
They still got Ty Jerome to come back, Scottie Pippen Jr. to come back, Ja to come back. Like they're doing all of this with no point guard, literally no point guard. All of their point guards are hurt. Ja comes back and gets hurt within 2 minutes, so like that's not ideal. But we haven't seen Scottie Pippen or Ty Jerome the whole year, and we saw the year Ty Jerome had last year. Will be interesting to see when he comes back how he looks. Can he replicate what he did in Cleveland? Zach Edey was having an amazing season before whatever they decided to hold him out for. I think it's an ankle or something. Yeah, the Grizzlies are a decent team. Do I think they're great? No, but I think they're a decent team. So
this injury with Scottie Pippen is it a season-ending injury? What is it with him? What's going on with him?
I don't think it's season-ending.
And the reason why I'm asking is I know I said, hold these guys accountable, do your job. If you Cleveland, would you call up Memphis and check their temperature on Scottie Pippen Jr.?
He got surgery on his toe, so
because we in the same.
You see how Garland dealing with coming back.
Never mind. Forget I said that.
You wanna go.
Cleveland already has two enough point guards and guards, though. They don't need more guards.
Forget I said that. Yeah,
man.
But Scottie Pippen, if he comes back and he's looking like the Scottie Pippen I think like we had last year, yeah, he's amazing for a contender with like the point of attack defense, the passing, the decision making, make shots, handle the ball. Like he's really good, which is why I think Memphis will be a lot better when he comes back. But it's nice to see that they're stacking together some wins, and being the Timberwolves, I know but being the Timberwolves, that's a good win for them, especially with the way the Timberwolves been playing recently.
17.
They're now the 9 seed. Yeah, they're now the 9 seed, a couple games behind Phoenix. So like, they're making themselves a little push.
Hey, Burner, stop this shit with the small guard logic. You love Tyrese Maxey. He's 6'2". Cut the shit. Him and Scottie Pippen the same size. So cut the shit.
Well, the Timberwolves before yesterday, they were 17-9, but they're 17-10 now. It kind of feels like their early season issues were a little bit overstated. They're obviously still like kind of working their way back up, but right now it's Oklahoma City with 2 losses, Denver with 6 losses, Los Angeles with 7, Spurs with 7, Rockets with 7, and then the Wolves with 10. I think that by the end of the year, y'all, would you be shocked or surprised if they end the year with home court advantage going into the playoffs?
Yes.
Shocked to know if they can get the 4 seed. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, but I would probably, my money would be on 5 or 6. If I was a betting man, my money would be on 5 or 6.
Point guard.
I think they're going to be
through the regular season. Defense gets you through the regular season. I don't love what I've seen from Rudy Gobert this year. Feel like there's an actual regression happening right now.
Yeah,
Julius Randle probably having one of the worst rebounding seasons of his career. And and to Chill's point earlier, he is a glass cleaner. So you reading off Basketball Reference that he got 7 rebounds a game doesn't change the fact that Julius Randle has been a dominant rebounder for most of his career. So let's just not let's not miss that.
24, 10, and 6. What in 21? Something like that.
Okay, but you also have to figure you have to figure out who else was on his team. Like he had some really good rebounders on his team: Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein.
Well, I think he averaged 10 rebounds. I'm saying at that point. That's what I'm saying.
He's averaged 10 rebounds multiple times. He averaged 10 rebounds like with the Lakers at some point as well, I believe. So he's a really good
rebounds pretty much his first year because he broke his leg in his first game. So we're just going to write that year off. The first year he actually played, he averaged 10 rebounds a game. So
yeah. So he's been a good rebounder. I'm just saying, like, and they don't really have a point guard. So I think like the Bones Highland stuff is it's interesting. I mean, certainly looked okay at times. The Rob Dillingham minutes, I'm not sure how I feel about Rob Dillingham right now.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't like him as a player. I don't understand it. Like I didn't like him in college. I didn't understand. And by the way, that was our pick. I'm gonna be clear about that. We conveyed that stupid ass pick and it got traded. And I was just like seeing Topic there. I was seeing like so many good players. Now, granted, Topic hasn't played a minute of NBA basketball, but I'm just like, man, Zach Edey was available at that 8th pick potentially. I just didn't like the Rob Dillingham pick. He's so tiny, Chill, and he is nowhere near as talented as Darius Garland to justify his tininess. And he is a very tiny basketball player.
I don't think I'm out of line when I talk about Chris Paul, him falling off that cliff. Yo, Mike Conley got old like that. Like he didn't get old over like the course of
man.
He didn't get old over the course of like 3 or 4 years. It was 1 minute he was solid, and then the next minute he was just old, just like that. And I can appreciate Ox.
He was probably older than
a young man's league. Yes, I understand that we live in a young. I know that we live in a young man's league. I do know that, but wow, I was like, damn, he got old fast.
I mean, he's 38 and like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah,
like.
Yeah,
that age gonna catch up to you
really,
eventually. Like he can shoot the 3. He's still a smart player, but at the end of the day, you gotta have the physical capability.
It was showing last year. It was definitely
last year was the first year where you're like, Mike Conley, he's past it.
His defense was slipping for a few years now, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's interesting though.
Offensively, like he still could like get into the lane, get to his floater. The last couple years, he's on that. All I can do is shoot a 3 business right now.
I can't really do anything else. I can't.
Yeah, like, it's tough. Like he's old.
It's interesting. Some of these teams they're operating without like a traditional point guard, and I think some of the leagues going there a little bit. But Swiper, to your original point, I think that the top 6 in the East I think can change a little bit. I think there's top 6 in the West right now. I think that's going to be the 6. Now where they fall will be determined, but I think that's the 6 in the West. I think there's a drop off after that.
Are we past the days?
It's crazy. Chill. The Clippers are 6-20. The Pelicans are 5-22. Like
they're a game and a half out the last out of last place. They're a game and a half, Swiper.
Yeah, but you ain't see the reports when Derrick Jones Jr. come back. They're making the run. Here
we go with the bullshit. So, just like when Sacramento gets Keegan Murray back. Here we go.
Yeah, and look, guess what? The Kings overtook the Clippers.
Oh my god!
Yo, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be over that this year. If you would have asked me before the year, I would have been more willing to bet you $1,000 they'd be 20-6 over 6-20.
Oh, I said that's what
I said yesterday. He said
the exact same thing yesterday.
Out of last place. Like we had this conversation yesterday. Swipe
with
what's
all
more
the
likely?
distractions.
The Cavs go to the NBA Finals, or the Clippers get to the 6th spot. That was the question that we had yesterday. What's more likely? The Cavs end up in the NBA championship, or the Clippers end up in the 6th spot.
So they play 26 games so far. So they would have to basically in the next 56 games, just to do that, they would have to go like 40-16. If maybe more. Maybe.
Is that realistic? That they can run the
way
like
this
that?
season looking, if the Clippers win 30
there's
games,
no way. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Trash.
They genuinely suck. Like they genuinely just suck.
They're awful. They are awful.
They shouldn't though.
It
doesn't make sense.
Well, when you look at how they're playing, it makes sense why they keep losing.
Harden's never missed the playoffs. It's over. It's done.
I feel like I'm back in my 20s because this is who the Clippers were in the 90s, Ox.
They didn't even look this bad with Corey
at the bottom of the Western Conference. This is who they were. This garbage. This is who they were, Dame. They were they were at the bottom of the Western Conference. It's trash.
At least they were fun to watch.
There was some dark days, man. There was some dark days with the Clippers, man.
Lloyd Bolt and Benoit Benjamin. Yes, they was trash at the bottom of the Western Conference. Terrible. Yes, sir. They were terrible. So I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of me when I see them because it's like this is who the Clippers I'm used to. This is who I'm used to them being. Like that, what I've seen over the last 14 years, which, by the way, I know this sounds ridiculous to you guys, but I don't know if y'all noticed, but the Clippers, nobody has been to the playoffs more over the last 14 years than the Clippers. Nobody.
Nice. Yeah, see, good work.
But I'm thinking to myself, who are these dudes really? Who are they really? What you see right now. This is who they really are.
Chill,
What you saw over the
dysfunctional.
last 14 years.
Dysfunctional. This human element is so real. You know, when there's contract disputes, when there's off-court distractions, I swear it always bleeds into the locker room. Guys are distracted. Guys are having to answer questions. Guys are having shit happen in their personal lives. You know, and I just think that a Clippers fall off could have been foreseen in the light of the Kawhi saga. I feel like the age, the league shifting, all the media scrum over that crap. It just feels like basketball is not the main thing right now.
There was no media scrum. Only you and Swiper cared about that shit. It
Okay.
was you two and Pablo, the only ones that cared about that shit. Look, they lost Norman Powell.
Ox, I'm sick of your shit, Ox. I'm so sick of you.
Chill, okay,
They
chill.
fucking lifted the
Chill,
curtain up on
wait,
some
chill.
bullshit that was going on.
What? Chill.
Three people.
What happened? What do you think is more? It was more of an issue for the Clippers. Kawhi not planting trees, or Norman Powell going to South Beach?
I mean, they're
What?
both.
No, that's a
bad.
real question. Chill, no, chill. That's a real question. That's a real question. Which one do you think hurt them more this year? Norman Powell going to South Beach or Kawhi not planting trees?
Kawhi not planting trees.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
No, I'm being honest. Okay, I'm being honest. I'm being like losing Norman Powell was a big ass deal. Yes, I mean, despite the saga with Kawhi Leonard, no doubt about that, Ox. Despite the saga with Kawhi Leonard, like losing, wasn't Norman Powell averaging like?
But
20
you didn't
21 a
lose
game
him.
last year?
Chill. You traded him. That's
it was a fringe
different.
all-star last year.
You can call it what you want, Penn. It
They
doesn't
did
matter.
lose
He's
him,
not
though.
on the
He ain't
team
on the
anymore.
roster. Yeah, he on the roster. They lost.
Rather he.
No,
if
they
he start- if
traded
he's-
him to make
Okay,
room for Bradley Beal.
Okay,
That is
so what
dumb.
I'm saying is, regardless of how
that
it
decision
happened,
is what's hard.
Norman Powell is not on your basketball team anymore. Bradley Beal,
Yeah, but
who
don't
you said,
soften it.
just listen,
Don't
just
soften it.
listen. So the fact that you so Norman Powell's not on your basketball team anymore. You said they traded him to make room for Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is also not on the basketball team. So therefore, you lost Norman Powell. I don't care how it happened. Norman Powell's not on the roster. Norman Powell's not there.
You traded
Norman
him
Powell.
for John Collins, technically.
Okay, cool. Well, Penn said it was there to
John
make room
Collins
for Bradley
on the
Beal.
roster?
So what I'm saying is, Penn,
Unfortunately.
don't Penn, just be for real for a second. You don't have Norman Powell anymore. Does that hurt your team more than Kawhi not planting trees?
I don't know why this has turned into some sort of like I don't know, like you public defender for Kawhi Leonard or some shit. Like
All right, but
we're
you
not
don't
going.
know
We're not
this.
going at Kawhi.
You just don't want to answer the question.
Like
Yes,
like,
he
It doesn't. That doesn't matter whether I'm a public defender or if I'm a paid lawyer. What I'm saying is,
public defenders get paid, Ox.
No, but I'm paid by my defendant,
By
or
the
am
actual
I a public
the
defender?
client.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying, Penn. Stop trying to
That
play
check
word
gonna
games with me.
bounce.
I'm on top of this. I'm on
Ox.
top of this. I'm
That
on
check
top of
is
this.
gonna bounce. I
Penn,
promise you that.
Penn, answer the question. Answer the question. Which one hurt the Clippers team more? Kawhi not planting trees or Norman Powell playing for the Miami Heat?
It's not the question that you should be asking. You
Don't worry about what I
asking-
should be asking.
What?
Worry about what I asked you.
Well, obviously losing Norman Powell, but
Okay,
this
that's
is-
all I'm
but-
saying. That's all I'm
but-
saying.
but
Like,
no, but you're asking the
Why-
wrong question. Nobody said the Clippers fell apart because Kawhi didn't plant trees. I know that's what I said, and I know that's not what I said. I know that's what you heard, but that's not what I said. I said
The saga, the media,
Yes.
and I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
okay, so
Penn,
that has nothing
just
to do
Penn,
with
just
Kawhi
assume-
not
just assume-
planting trees.
Penn, that was
You
the
all-
whole
you-
thing.
you- no.
Penn, just assume for a minute. Just Penn,
What are
just
you
assume
doing,
for a
boss?
minute that I understand what you're saying, and let's have a
Having no parts of this
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah, but I think you do understand what I'm saying, which is
I
why
know,
this
so let's
conversation is
have the
always so frustrating
conversations.
with you. Because look, man, like what I'm saying is you soften it.
Brooke Lopez didn't
You
get
soften
old
it.
because
Oh my God.
reporters are asking them about Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes
you
didn't
ain't
forget how to
heard
play
about how much
basketball.
stress ages you. Maybe that's how everyone got so
Exactly.
old in the Clippers. They
You
got
should see
stressed
my
out over
hairline
the
dealing with you
offseason,
guys.
and then
Well,
they
you know what
biologically
that
aged their entire
means?
year. You know what I mean? Like you know how one buddy be taking years
Where
off.
you think
of
this extra
Phil's
gray
life?
hair comes from, Mars?
You know what? You know what?
Exactly,
Though?
Joe.
You know what,
We
Penn?
suffering
And these
from you
dudes
guys,
need to stop acting like soft ass Euros then, because that's what they're doing right now. They're being soft if they're getting AIDS because the reporters asked them a couple questions.
They getting what?
age.
If they're aged, no.
Oh,
yo,
damn.
chill.
Focus swiper.
I was
Chill,
like, oh no.
All right, y'all.
I heard something else. My bad.
So,
There's
I
not
do want to
no
give a shout
foreign
out.
body is entering my body because I'm stressed out. No, that's not what's
Right,
going
come
on.
on.
Don't get a virus. No, that's not what's going on. Relax,
foreign
yo.
body entering your body, which happens. It's flu season, by the way, so make sure y'all take care of y'all business.
Yeah, man, I've been down for about 3 days, yo.
Yeah, cold
I was
flu,
about to ask.
snap.
I'm
go.
glad that you brought that up because I was worried about my big fella. Big fella, because I see you wiping your nose, I see you sneezing your eye. Big fella, what's going on, yo?
Yeah, I'm on my fifth bottle of orange juice. I've been trying to get some rest, but
Orange juice.
I'm busy out here.
Okay, all right. Because
Now, brother, all you need
it's
is
like he's a
just
little bit under the weather.
get you some ginger, sleep with it under your pillow, bro. Promise you, man, it's gonna work.
Under your pillow. You're not a vampire.
I'm not doing them old ass remedies, man. But no, I'm good. I'm back. I've been down since Monday, but I'm
What are
back.
you talking
man.
about, Ben?
There's 104
All right.
degrees here, man.
You gotta
It's
actually
104
your body.
degrees.
You can't just sleep with it under your pillow.
So we got
I
some
miss it
great
down there.
news.
I mean, I got to get
Great
back.
news. I told y'all we've had this conversation multiple times. Player choice is literally on a new horizon. Now, obviously, we've been around for about 5 years now, Chill. And Ox, you've been around obviously for a long time. Chill, Mars been around for extremely long time. What people don't realize is that every single year, every season, this platform gets bigger, we get better, we get more people, and just like a foreign body, we keep adding all of these great things to what PC is. And you got Penn, Damian is the newest addition. Obviously, Real Talk, formerly a part of the team. Then you get Drench, and then you got Swiper. You got a bunch of different people, and then you get the chat. You get Kenny, you get Mtel, you get Amir, you get Drago. There's so many folks that make this platform great. But guess what? This is probably the biggest thing that's happened to us. This weekend, as of today, my brother Ron, Dave, they are at the TikTok Awards in Los Angeles, California, because they got invited. PC got invited, and they're out there representing PC and all of the great stuff that we have been doing on this platform. But I want y'all to know, chat, we have gone to Brooklyn this year. We were in Indy at one point in time this year. We were in San Francisco earlier this year. We're on the way to a bunch of stuff
Phoenix,
that I can't
Atlanta.
even tell you. Atlanta, you was in Atlanta. Everybody. There's stuff that's happening in 2026 that I literally am not allowed to say legally. Got an NDA I had to sign because I can't let y'all know. So this is what I want to tell y'all. We couldn't do this without you. Literally, we could not do this without the chat. We couldn't do this without the regulars. We could not do this without the people that make this platform special every single day. So chat, thank y'all so much for the way that you continue to show us support and show us love, because as we grow, you're going to grow, and we're going to have a lot of opportunities for you all. So shout out to you, chat. Hey, y'all, 2026, level
I'm
Level
already
up.
on record.
See,
Being-
Swiper, this is why I say the chat clears. This is why I say we have the best community on the internet, because y'all show up for us every single day and y'all hold it down. We wouldn't be here without y'all, and we definitely appreciate y'all. And like Swiper said, if we didn't have to sign them NDAs, I'll tell y'all all the big things we got coming up, man. We appreciate
Yes, we
y'all
do.
so much.
I'm on record. This it's like the off season, and in the off season, you find out that you got that you got somebody in the off season that you ain't know about. That's when we added Damian. I was like, we got him. Word. Oh, yo, we're gonna be nice this year. Check us out. Yes, sir. That's what adding Damian was like. That's what adding Damian was like with me. I was like, we got that dude. Like, yes. How much better is he gonna make our crew? Watch what happens to us now. We was already gonna be nice, but we got him. Yeah, we're gonna be even better this year.
I was like, damn, they got that soft Aussie.
Mhm.
I'm joking.
Meanwhile, Ox, Mars, you still suck though. Just so you know, Mars, you still suck. I just want to put that out there.
Mars, you don't got nothing to say to the chat
Yeah, you still.
Appreciate y'all, man.
About what?
Mm-mm.
about how much you
No, I'm
appreciate
not
them?
2K. See, Ox shows you guys love. Ox shows you guys love. That's part of the show. I can't be like, Chat, I love you. Chat, you guys are awesome. No, that's not the way that works. You guys suck. I hate y'all.
Yo,
Every last one of
we
y'all.
got to clarify something, okay?
That's why
First of all,
that's why this works.
Damien
So-
is a very, very peaceful guy. Okay, he's always sharing everyone's stuff. He's very nice up here. He doesn't disagree with anybody. It's a facade, okay? It's a bullshit facade. I saw your soccer clips, man. You're a dog out there, man. Like this dude is
I was a
this
dog,
dude's
yeah.
mean. This dude is mean. So
Hey, I was
I
a
just
dog,
Damien-
man. I was a
Damien-
dog.
feel-
Like,
I feel like
don't fall
Damien
for the
tricking
Damien
y'all,
thing,
man. He tricking y'all.
Oh,
He
man.
tricking
When
y'all
I-
into
on the-
thinking he's a
look, on the-
peaceful, nice guy.
you guys know, man. On when in the competitive space, like, man, it's like you got to do a job, man. And I was a dog on the field, but no, I appreciate that, Joe. Appreciate all you guys. Appreciate the chat. It's been awesome with the chat, like interacting, you guys DMing, you guys reaching out. It's been amazing. And I just wanted to also say, man, to like my colleagues up here, my esteemed colleagues, it's not easy to get up every day and do this, man. To bring the energy, we all, like Penn said, we all bring different personalities. You're never gonna see me fly off the handle, to be honest with you. I'm waking up in the middle of the night, so I can't be yelling and screaming anyway. But
There's people
I'm
in the
never,
house.
but then
We can't do that. It's people
That's
in the house
there's
sleeping.
people in
so
the house. We
do
can't.
that. So, relax.
You know, so no, I appreciate all that, man. But yeah, like Swiper said, man, I think
Tell
we
him to
only just
turn
getting
up.
started.
Tell the people to turn up. Like, wow,
Man,
No,
I
but
don't
really
wanna-
though, shout
I don't
out,
want to
shout
wake
out
the
to-
neighborhood.
Shout out to all the people that that take part in the community, that comment, that chat in the live chat, that send super chats, that purchase merch, that support everything we do, man. We really appreciate y'all. And shout out to TikTok for inviting our platform. Shout out to Dave and Ron for getting down there and holding us down. We appreciate y'all for sure.
Yeah, man, we've been getting a lot of love from YouTube, from TikTok, from everybody, man. So I'm telling y'all, like 2026 is about to be crazy. Like I can't wait. Brother Ox,
We miss
you want something else you want to say?
Do I have something
What
else
you
I
gonna
want to say? Am I supposed to say something?
No. I thought you were
Oh, you
talking.
want
My
that?
bad.
Oh no, I'm good. I had some, but I forgot.
Okay, cool. Well, y'all, we got to get to a little list.
Oh yeah.
That PC done
list.
dropped. So
The
we
duo
had to
list,
go
boss.
around and name the greatest duos in NBA history. And obviously, everybody contributed to this wonderful list that we have. And we're going to go through this and share this with y'all because this is actually, I think, a really good list, so far. I don't know. Have y'all seen the list? Have y'all actually had a chance to look at it?
Saw it on IG.
I haven't.
Just
I
now
haven't
pulling
seen
it
it.
up. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to enjoy
It's
this together.
it's posted on IG right now.
Yep, it's on Instagram.
Oh damn, I didn't see it.
Yeah, all right. So we'll go through this one by one.
Okay, I know Steph and KD's out the top 5, courtesy of Ty.jpg. So this list is nonsense already, but it's cool.
Why
All
would
right,
they be
well,
top
carry
five,
on.
boss?
We'll get to
I don't even know if I had them top 5. I'm just talking.
the first duo on the list
You
is
can't
going
zoom in
to
any
be
more than that, Swiper.
Can
I
we
had them
stop?
top 5.
Wait
I
a
had
minute,
them
Swiper.
top 5.
Are we going 1 to 10 or are we going 10 to 1?
this is
It's
10
gonna be 10
1.
to 1. It's gonna be 10 to 1.
Okay, so 10 to 1. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, we're going 10 to 1. Y'all ready? You good, Ox?
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I'm ready. I just was asking to zoom in, but if that's all you can, it's all good. I'm ready.
John Stockton and Karl Malone are 10,
Oh, the list is cooked. Okay.
Yo,
10
I
on
want
the
to
list.
be clear
wrong with that?
about something. Okay, I want to be clear about something. I had them 10th on my list, and then I hit Ron up and I said, scratch that, put Jokic and Murray at 10, and then it's
I didn't.
It's
I
political.
didn't even consider them
You sabotage.
Why
the
not,
list?
Moss?
Yeah, no.
no, I did not sabotage the
because
list
when I made the list, those guys didn't come to my mind, so I didn't
at
consider
all.
them.
At all?
No.
I asked Ron if he needed the list still. He said yes. I thought for about 3 minutes. I sent him a list. These guys didn't come across my mind.
All right. Okay.
Over
Keep going.
500
Swiper. These dudes aren't taking this
season
seriously.
wins.
Chill, do you actually think that
I'm
they're
okay.
a better
I had
duo
them
than
at 10.
Jokic and Murray?
Are you
Yes,
serious,
I do.
Swiper? What type of questions
Yes,
are
I
you
do.
asking?
Yeah, I mean, I'm well,
Yes,
just
I
just
do.
Hell
because
no,
Sam-
they're not.
Genuinely.
Sam Mitchell
yes.
said the other day they're the greatest duo he maybe has ever seen. Just how they play together.
I'm not.
That's
God,
amazing.
nobody
Shout
cared
out
about
to
that little clip he was talking shit, Swiper.
Yeah.
He he don't
You
believe
hear
that.
Melo and
There's
Derek
no,
Fisher?
there is no way.
Sam
There
Mitchell
is
says a
no
lot of
way in
bullshit.
hell. There is no way in hell that Jokic and Jamal Murray made this list.
I'll take Jamal Murray.
I don't
over
think they did.
John
Unless
Stockton any
Swiper
day.
had them at 1,
Swiper,
which got them like a major combined.
do you know what
Not
else
yet,
Sam
anyway.
Mitchell said?
Not yet, anyway.
You know what else Sam Mitchell said on public
What?
record? He
What?
said the only difference between Scotty Barnes and Kawhi Leonard was that Kawhi was a better jump shooter. So let's not take him.
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
not
it's
true
not.
at all.
Sniper. What the hell?
Swiper just
not-
saying
that's
it's true
not
so he
true
can
at all.
give Sam some
Yeah,
credibility
yeah,
so he
can
can
we
keep
get-
pushing
can
that
we get-
bullshit.
can we-
Keep
can we-
going. Who's number
you,
nine?
you know how
Who's number
egregiously,
nine?
do you know how not, do you know how wrong you have to be to get me to like disrespect Scotty Barnes? He's just like, what the hell are you
Well,
talking
maybe
about?
you're
That's
just
not
very
even
wrong about
Who's
Kawhi.
an
but-
all-time great? Who's an all-time better Raptor already? Scotty Barnes or Kawhi?
Kawhi. Who's number
Why?
nine?
Because he got a ring.
Yeah, he's number 9.
All right, man. All right. Next up, you got Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West at 9.
I had them on my list.
Oh,
I had them on my
shit.
list.
Nah,
Oh yeah, you hate on both of them. Yeah, I forgot about that. You hate on both of them.
I don't hate on
Yeah,
both of them.
I
only hate on one of
Wilt.
them.
I had Wilt. No, you hate on Jerry West and Wilt. You hate on both.
I don't hate on Wilt. I just think some of his box scores might be fabricated. That's not hating.
We
That's-
said he's
that's-
one of. We said
that's
he'd be one of the
reasonable
most
skepticism.
athletic people. We said he'd be one of the most athletic people in the league, and you told me about Ulrich Chomsche, who has since been cut, by the way. Shout out to him, being more
Blood
athletic than Wilt
clots.
Chamberlain. Who is more athletic than Wilt Chamberlain? Apparently, which is interesting.
Have you watched Ulrich play basketball? Dude,
He's not more athletic than Wilt Chamberlain. I don't tell you. But
All right.
shout out to Wilt and Jerry West. They were on my list.
I got it.
That's-
'Cause I had, and yes, now that I'm thinking about it, because my list got a little skewed. Now that I think about it, because I think about what West and Baylor did, and I think about what West and Chamberlain did. Those two guys together, and there was some unfortunate luck with both West and Baylor as opposed to West and Chamberlain. I mean, they lost an NBA championship to the Lakers, like what, 6 times? They've
Quite a few times.
Yeah, they've lost to them 6 times. And you know, Chamberlain and Jerry West as a duo, is it more of an underachievement what they did?
Yeah,
For some
of course,
people-
but that's
Well, I think
that's
they should've won in
Will's
69.
fault though.
I think they
I
should have
do
won.
I do think that they should have won in 60.
they should have won in 70.
Yeah, but that's directly Wilt's fault.
So yeah, they probably should have had 3 rings together instead of 1.
The one in 72 was legit.
It'd be hard.
I can
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
I can definitely get with that. The one in 70, they should have won in 73 too. Yeah, they should have beat the Knicks
Yeah.
in 73.
Yeah, 73. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Wilt sunk multiple series, by the way, that he was involved with Jerry West. But
I just thought the Chamberlain and not Chamberlain, I'm sorry, Jerry West and Elgin Baylor together as a duo. I mean, they were hell to deal with. And they just kept running into the Celtics. You notice that
We'll see if
They
the
just kept
Celtics have a
running-
duo in here. We'll see.
So the first 2 we have are John Stockton and Malone at 10, and then we got Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West at 9. At number 8 of greatest PC duos of all time, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
they are
I
that
did
low.
not have them on my
Hell
list.
no.
They're too
I
low,
didn't have
man.
them on my
They're too
list. I
You
didn't
did
I
not
didn't-
have them on your list, Mars?
Well, no, because I think Steph and Draymond are a better duo.
there we
Why would
go.
I have Steph
See,
and
that's
Clay?
where Rob. Wow, that's
Yeah, I got
that's
Steph
kinda
mean,
where
wow.
Kawhi is
Steph
with
and
me.
KD. Steph and Clay
Yes, sir.
absolutely got to be on this list.
Steph
I have
and
no problem-
Klay
I have
are
no
the
problem with
third
that.
best duo that Steph's even played with. Yeah, Steph and Durant are better. What are we doing here?
Well, I'd hope
they-
everyone
This
has
is where
Steph
it
and
gets hard,
KD.
though. This is where it gets
We'll
hard.
get to
because
Steph and KD. I
I
hope everyone had Steph and KD, but
don't.
Steph and-
I
Y'all
had
just
the
don't. Y'all don't
issue of-
respect the
I'm
immortal not-
gonna
Klay
just
Thompson.
ignore that, Joe. We're just gonna let that slide. That's cool.
I'm sorry.
I didn't have
Mars,
stock.
I
I didn't
cannot.
have Stockton and Malone. You cannot have Steph and KD. That's cool.
Okay, there you go.
We'll let that one go. We'll just is what it is.
Okay.
Charge it to the game. It's cool.
Okay.
Four
comfortable.
titles together, the greatest offenses of all time together, the best
They did
backcourt
not win
3-point shooting
4
duo
titles,
of
though.
ever.
That's
They're
not
too
what happens,
low.
White. He only
They're
played
too
there
low.
3 years.
Who?
He's talking about Steph and Clay. He's talking about Steph and Clay. He's talking about Steph and Clay.
I'm sorry, my fault. I thought you were talking
Wait,
about
you don't have
Curry.
Steph and KD on your list, is what you said?
Yeah, he does.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't want to. All right. Well,
You had
next
Steph
up,
and Clay?
I did, yes.
Why?
But I'm
KD's whole career
This is
is
just
being
marketing. This is
taken
just
away from him at
marketing,
this
Joe.
yeah,
Like,
I kind of screwed that up because I'm thinking, were they more of a trio than a duo?
okay,
Y'all just
re-
y'all don't
re-
y'all don't
real
respect
question.
Klay Thompson enough. That's
Real
all it is. Y'all
question,
just
because I
respect
don't-
Klay
I
Thompson.
definitely
respect
had
Klay
these
Thompson.
two.
I don't
just
think that this
I
duo
just
is gonna
view
make
Steph
the
and
list.
Draymond as more of a duo, considering
Exactly.
the synergy between them.
I don't think
The
this duo is
offense
going to make the
defense.
list, but realistic question: Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. They're not a better duo than Steph and Clay.
No, no.
No, but this is where it gets
Don't-
hard. This is what I was
don't
about to
make me
say.
cuss.
Is the duos
Pin. This is a family show.
Chris Paul and
I
Blake
think-
Griffin.
but-
What?
but
Like,
this-
not winning a championship.
Chris
makes them
Paul
not
and
a
Blake
duo?
Griffin. You're talking about them amongst Steph and the immortal Klay Thompson.
How the hell are you supposed to be the best duo, and one of the players on your duo ain't even the second best player on the team. Help me understand that.
Lord have mercy, please.
I think
Well, many would
this
argue.
is where it
Lord
gets
have
hard.
mercy
I
on
do have a
your
question.
soul.
Parker, but
Yeah,
he better than
Many,
Bottom.
many,
no,
many,
the
many
Draymond
would,
Green is
many
better
would.
player
Oh,
than
for what
Klay
it's worth,
Thompson.
I don't.
Draymond
view
Green
the
not a better
Spurs
player
as
than Klay
Duncan and
Thompson?
Parker, I don't.
Are we kidding me?
No, no,
Yeah,
absolutely
we've had
not.
this conversation- We've had
Man.
this conversation many times up here.
Absolutely
But yeah,
not.
I understand Stephen Clay. I'll view Stephen Clay making the list as Stephen Dre honorarily making the list. I'll just say basically Stephen, one of them, made the list.
That's
That's
fair.
how I'm just viewing it. Whichever one makes it cool.
Draymond
I had
better than Klay
Draymond.
Thompson. Are you out of your mind?
But
I
Swiper,
had
it gets
Draymond.
hard
If you
though
have Klay-
because it gets hard because like there's a few different ways to look at it. Is it tenure together? Is it championships together? Is it longevity together? Is it just the two best players playing together? Because I think that's where I sort of was like, oh, with a few of these.
Well, the thing is, John Stockton and Malone don't qualify for any of that except for longevity.
They
They weren't the two best players in anything, and then they were just they lost every time they went into the
Malone
championship.
was the best power forward when he was playing for a
Respectfully,
large
I've had this conversation multiple times. I just
And you
disagree with it.
respectfully have been wrong every time.
That's cool.
I don't-
I'll
I
Karl
don't-
Malone was better than
I'll always
Karl
respect
Malone was
Charles
better
Barkley.
than Charles Barkley for sure.
I'll always tell you Charles was better. It's not going to change. Never
That's
gonna
fine.
change.
Yeah,
That's fine.
but
We
in the
did-
later 90s,
in the late 90s,
in the late 90s, Malone was
Karl Malone was
considerably better.
definitely the best power forward.
Even though I
Yeah,
don't
sure,
like
sure.
him, and I have 13 reasons not to like him, that doesn't change any
This is
fact.
your 13th reason why. No, but
Yeah,
look,
talk-
I'm
but
trying
talk-
to tell
but
you
talking
that
about
like,
basketball,
we talked about
come
peak for
on, be
peak
for real.
that I took Barkley
Yes.
over here. He was better in the late 80s.
But what you're saying
Malone
is they weren't the
was
best at anything when you're talking about arguably the
Yeah, but
best
like
or
best
second
power
best point.
forward, but he wasn't the best player or second
be
best
honest,
player.
You know how
Looking at
loaded
my
the power
list,
forward
I
position
feel
was
no
when he
regret.
was
No,
the best power forward?
we've gone through this conversation multiple times. I'm very aware. I am.
taxing them as well for running into the Bulls, but yeah.
They lost to
Taxing
many
for a
teams.
lot
that
of
were- They lost to many
nobody
teams
beat the
that
Bulls,
weren't
by the
So
way.
multiple finals.
Well, no, the
multiple
Magic
finals
actually beat
back
the
to
Bulls.
back.
They lost to many teams that
Okay.
weren't just Chicago.
Okay.
They were losing for.
We don't count
19 years.
45.
They were
No, I
losing
mean
for
the
a long
final.
time.
So to your point,
Yeah,
Mars,
they made it a
okay,
couple times. Shout out to them, and then they
So
lost.
losing to that Golden State Warriors team in '89, bad. Losing to that Phoenix team, who I think that they lost to Portland in the West Finals that year. That was they actually had an opportunity to beat them. Losing in '91, losing in '92, losing in '92 in the West Finals to that Trailblazer team. I actually thought they were going to beat Portland, even though Portland was on the doorstep of winning the NBA championship. And the road to the NBA Finals did go through Portland. They won in the NBA championship twice in the last 3 years. Losing in '93, I didn't appreciate that at all. Losing in the West Finals in '94 to Houston, losing in '95 is unforgivable. I'm not going to argue that. Even though the series got shortened, losing in '95 to that Houston Rockets team was unforgivable. No question about that. But after that, I mean, then they ended up winning in '96. They ended up winning in '97. They ended up winning in '98. I mean, then going back, they ended up going back to, losing in '96. I'm sorry, in the West Finals to Seattle. Yeah, but they ended up winning in '90. They were making deep playoff runs. It's not like this team. It's not like these two guys as a duo. I mean, I think they won over 500. I think they won over 500 plus games together with duo, something like that. And I think that's like number one all time. I just think that they've had some unfortunate luck. But
well, no, it wasn't luck. Sean Kemp was busting his face in the conference finals that year. Sean Kemp from that conference.
No, he wasn't.
Sean Kemp from that conference finals to finals was damn near unstoppable versus them and then versus the Bulls. We've already gone through this. We've already gone through this before. But no, to be fair, I do agree. Chill, longevity. They might be the greatest ever because they played a lot together. But I just don't think they're at their peak. They were,
I think so. Ox, and I know that we don't live in an alternate universe. If the Jazz win one of those championships, how are we talking about Stockton and Malone as a duo? If they just beat the Bulls one time,
I'm the same way I talk about them already. The same way I talk about them already. I mean, yeah, you obviously you need to win championships. That's a big thing. They went twice, lost twice, but they were still one of the best duos of all time. I'm not gonna do the other stuff what they do with Malone. I don't care.
I had them
Malone's
ten.
one of the best power forwards
just
to
for
ever walk
the reason
on
chill. I
planet
said what I said. By the way, I don't people remember this. That series, because remember we talked about this a few months ago. That series when Sean Kemp played versus them, Sean Kemp was averaging 20 and 10. He shot 70% from the field versus Utah in that series. Because in that next series, when he played versus the Bulls, he also had his way in that series. That was probably the best back-to-back series he ever had in his career. Yeah. Like that little stretch of the playoff run from Sean Kemp was insane.
He had a difficult. He had a difficult time with if I'm not mistaken, with Dennis Rodman. He said Dennis Rodman should have been. He said Dennis Rodman could have been the Finals MVP in '96. He said that's how good he was. That's exactly how good he was, man. But can I say? I mean, if you think about what Sean Kemp did, I mean, Kemp wasn't he almost 20 and 10 in that series?
No, he was 20 and 10 in the Utah Jazz series where he shot 69% from the field, and then he was 23 and 10 on 55% from the field versus the Bulls.
Yeah. Now, and I don't know this. I don't know this. I'm just going off the top of my head. Ox, I think in that series against Seattle, I think Malone went like 28 and 10 in that series, something goofy like that. On close to 48 he did something like that. He went like 28 and 10 in that series.
Yeah, well, so I mean,
he got busy.
We could do that easy. Like Swiper brought up that series with Sean Kemp, and Sean Kemp has a bunch of those. But so does Karl Malone. Like we could do that. We could do that with Malone. We could do that Malone with so many different series. So it's kind of like we all know that Sean Kemp was not close to Karl Malone, but let's be for real.
Next up on the list, so we got first two for John Stockton and Karl Malone at 10. We got Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West at 9, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson at 8, and at number 7, chill, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade at 7.
I do not have them on my list.
Oh, damn.
I do not have them on my list.
I had them at 7.
This is where I think I screwed my list up because I'm thinking about duos, and when I think about duos, that's kind of why I had Steph and Klay, because Steph and Klay was first. Then they added Draymond. Like I felt like Dwayne Wade and James. I think they were a trio because Bosh was a part of that too. Just like I could say the same thing about Steph and Klay, and then adding Dre. But they added Dre. It was Steph and Klay there first. They were Splash Brothers, and everybody knows that about them.
Yeah, if only Draymond got given a duo name, then maybe he would have made the list. But I had Bron Wade, but I considered not having Bron Wade because I think once you get past like 2012, D-Wade's kind of not the same. So I considered not having him. But I think the talent level was just too high. So I put them on at 7.
So this is for the first 2 years, basically?
Yeah, the way I made the list, I told you I kind of speed ran it. It was like a combination of like just talent level, then like how well you fit together. So it was just me just kind of like eyeballing which one I valued more depending on the duo. The longevity didn't really factor that much to me. I just kind of viewed how good you were when you guys played together. It wasn't.
Why not, Mark?
Because I didn't really. I just
didn't have time.
Felt wrong. Yeah, part of that is I kind of like I said I speed ran it, but part of it is like I just want to talk about the best duos. And it's like if you were together for 2 years and that's the best 2 years I've ever seen, like shout out to the other guy who had 8 years, but it's like you guys just weren't as good. So
my 2 years were better than your 8 together.
It's why I'll spoil it now since Steph and KD are out the top 5. Well, we'll get there. When Steph and KD come up, I'll tell you.
This is where I had Stockton and Malone, by the way. I had them 2 at 7.
Okay. Well, next up, so Penn, if you missed it, we got LeBron and Dwayne Wade at 7, Klay Thompson, and then Steph Curry at 8.
Yep, I got it.
Number 6 on the list, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant.
I had them at 2. Yeah, I had them at 2.
So
that kind of shows how I was viewing it in terms of talent level and whatnot, because they were 2 of the 3 best players on the planet for 3 years. That's
3 years get you the 2 spot.
Yeah,
well,
for me.
If you think about what they did in them 3 years, I mean, they completely tipped the landscape of the NBA. Just them 2 guys alone. I mean, they made everybody else.
No, but they're already a 73.
Well, they had Klay and Draymond. They had Klay and Draymond.
They're already a 73 win team.
But then,
yeah, they
right, they were a 73 win team, Damian, who Draymond made it clear they were getting figured out. That's what happened to them.
I mean, they just ran into the greatest ever. That's all.
Yeah, they ended up getting figured out. When
they were down 3-1 to OKC, like they were very clearly teams were adjusting.
Yes, teams were definitely adjusting to them. Well, add Kevin Durant to that line. Add Kevin Durant to that lineup. No more Justin. Sorry, that's it. We had
Houston came close. Houston came close.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I just think there's only one duo that I think hit a peak as high as what Steph and KD as like talent level of play in the NBA, how good they were relative to competition. There's only one other duo that I think surpasses that. So that's why I had them second.
Do you remember where you were, Ox and everybody else, when July 4th, 2016, when this happened?
I was in Vegas at a referee symposium when I heard that, and I was blown away. I thought I thought they was lying. I was like, KD did not go to the Warriors. That's a lie. Hell no. And it was all over.
I wrote a piece
and
that
I'm
went
thinking to
super
myself,
viral when that happened.
I was
when
in one of my
he-
last weeks of school.
first thing I was thinking, Swiper, was who's going to beat them? Who can beat them? I don't think there's anybody that could beat them. Can the Cavs beat them? Like, my selfish ways of thinking about James, I'm thinking, yeah, the Cavs can beat them. When in reality, my subconscious is like, stop playing. Can't nobody beat them. But I'm thinking because it's James, I'm like, they can beat them. No, they can't.
Actually, so crazy. Yeah.
I
We had
just
Steph,
remember
KD
Swipe.
on the same team.
I just remember thinking like the level of bitch assness is overwhelming.
Thought this was a family show.
the level of bitch assness is overwhelming right now.
It is a
That's
family
what I think
show.
I could think of. Like, what a sucker, you know?
Did you have them on
That
the
was
list?
my next thought.
No. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I had them on the list for sure. Steph and KD, absolutely. Yeah, on the list. I'm not an imbecile.
Chill, personally. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was
I-
tough.
Oh, wait, but chill. I'm not calling you. I'm not calling
but
you
if
an
you think
imbecile.
about it,
Chill.
Shit, if you think about it, it was kind of idiotic for me to leave them off. Because
Wait,
if
that
I'm thinking
didn't
about
come out right. You know what I mean?
if
You know
I'm
what I
thinking
mean.
about Clay and Dre, if I'm thinking about Clay and Steph, the Splash Brothers, the best shooting backcourt in NBA history, how can I just didn't think about KD and
And they didn't have to give up nothing except for let Harrison Barnes
He
walk.
just
so they
walked
could
in the
have-
front door.
That's
He just
crazy.
walked
Oh
in the
my
front door like,
God.
hey, hi. Like,
I
what
didn't
the
have
hell?
I didn't have that.
Let's move on because this shit is pissing me off all over again.
He just walked in the front door like, yeah, I want to get on y'all team now. What the fuck?
And then did Steph get the 205 right after that, Mars? Like after he signed there?
Yeah, I think he got his extension like right after.
And then chill. Hold
Yo,
on. Let me just make you guys mad again. Hold on, let me just make you guys mad one more time.
Relax.
After that, then they try to add DeMarcus Cousins. You remember that?
It did 2018.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They got him for
They tried
$5
to
million.
put the All-Star.
First
That's
game he
so
came back, he dunked on
ridiculous.
somebody too. I can't remember who. It
Yeah,
was.
Boogie didn't look terrible when he first got back. It's when he tore his quad that everything went left. Like
Yeah.
coming back from the Achilles, he didn't look terrible. He didn't look like the Boogie of old, but he didn't look terrible.
He had
And
some
then he tore
moments
his
in the
quad
19
and
finals
everything.
too.
Yeah, he had like a game. I
He
think, where
just got
was
hurt.
I think if
injuries,
Boogie
yeah,
was
yeah.
even healthy, I think they would have won that series. Like they just didn't have anybody to. It was over. Like
If they needed some injury,
Someone.
like, everything went left for them in that fight.
literally, the only person.
That's
that was
what
healthy
I'm gonna be
was
honest.
Steph.
That's what 5 straight final, like for a lot of that's what 5 straight finals will do to you, man. Like
Mhm.
Yeah,
I know Clay tore his ACL and that was unfortunate with the Danny Green breakaway, but Clay was already hurt in that series.
Yeah.
So like you could
Yeah, he
see
was
the injuries were taking a toll. Iguodala was dealing with something. I want to say it was like back spasms or something. I might be wrong. KD obviously going down. Then obviously Boogie. Like injuries were just.
You know, there
oh,
was
it
somebody
bad.
else who was hurt that nobody talks about.
OG
Kawhi
Anunoby.
Leonard.
Oh,
Kawhi
I think
Leonard.
I think everyone
OG
talks about
Anunoby.
Kawhi and being hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, OG
OG
did
didn't
miss
play
that whole
in that series.
postseason. Yeah,
Yeah, we
he
know.
missed the whole postseason. Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't going to change that series if they were healthy. But I will
No,
say,
you never know.
So,
you
so
know.
you're
But-
telling me if Kawhi is fully healthy,
yeah, I think if
Clay
the
is
other
fully
team, if the other
healthy.
team was fully healthy, I
I'ma
think
be
they
honest,
won
we
that
can
series.
is fully healthy.
we
Get
can
outta here.
assure you if both teams are fully healthy, the Raptors are getting packed.
They smacked them dudes.
We
They
can
smoked
Yeah,
assure
them
we don't know.
in 5
I mean,
games.
because that's easy.
smoked
Like
them.
that's easy
You'll
to
never
say.
know.
Because I mean, like we could just also pretend like 17 never happened. Like Kawhi wasn't giving KD everything he could handle.
Hey,
and
the Raptors
he
can
wa-
win a
he-
game. Yeah, the Raptors can win a game.
Well, I'm not even talking. I'm not talking about
The
the
Spurs
Spurs. I'm
could
talking
have
about
won
the
a game
Spurs.
too. They could
The
have won a game
Spurs,
too.
the Spurs was gonna beat the shit out of the Warriors until Zaza did that shit he did.
What and that last play they ran for Steph too to tie the game, game 6. That 3 was it? It was left a baseline out of bounds play.
He was fading right, so right wing
Yeah,
is
he
where
was
he
on
got
the
the
right
And it was
three.
they
He
did
was
throw
on
it
the
over
right
the he threw it over the top of
Yeah.
the pick, like a flare screen.
Yeah, I think if
I thought it was Cat because he was open too, but just
Oh, I knew that shit wasn't going in. I'm gonna be honest. I knew that. Shit
Fine.
wasn't going in. But if it went in, that would have been crazy. I knew that shit.
He just
All right,
not clutch like, he not clutch like Kawhi. That's all.
we got next up on the list at number 5. So again, just for the audience, the listening audience, we got John Stockton, Karl Malone at 10, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West at 9, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson at 8. We got LeBron James and Dwayne Wade at 7, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant at 6, and at 5, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale.
I had them at
I don't
8.
have
I had them at 8.
That's 5.
I think
I'm
I
happy
had them
that
right
they're
here
on
at
there.
5.
5. Having them over Steph and KD throws me off. But
No, actually, I had them at 4. I'm sorry.
Why are we
They
talking
were
about Kevin
definitely-
McHale and Bird as a duo? I don't know if y'all noticed, but Robbie Parrish was making an all-star team. Robbie Parrish was
That's amazing, but there was levels to this. And Bird and McHale were clearly better than Robert Parrish. A team can have a third good player. That doesn't change the fact that we know who the
Yeah,
two best
Klay
players.
Thompson.
Like you had Steph and Clay. Draymond was making all NBA teams. But
that's what,
still,
and
you
that's
had
what,
Steph and
that's
Klay.
where I think that's where I felt like I screwed up at, because I felt like with Bird and McHale, like Robbie Parrish was fucking awesome. They had the best front court in the league. There was no front court in the league better than them. Not the best two players, the best front court in the league, hands down. As a trio, Bird at the 3, McHale at the 4, and Robbie Parrish at the 5. That's the best front court in the league.
But were
includes what was going
these the
on.
best 2 players, don't you? Bird and McHale?
Cool.
I think McHale was better than Parrish.
I do too. Yeah, I do.
It's no
They're
disrespect to
longer
Robert
as well.
Parrish, but once you get to like 86, and especially 87, like before he breaks his foot, I could argue Kevin McHale, unless I'm forgetting,
He started
top
slowing down. in 88.
7-ish player in the NBA. I could make that argument.
Yeah, he was. If
Didn't
about
they trade
88,
for Parrish
88,
with the number
88
one
was
pick?
when he started slowing down, and he was only in like year 7 when that happened.
Shit, if you ask me, who's the best player on
top
some of the
5.
teams, I might have to go with Kevin McHale.
I said I think he was the best scorer on the team. I said
Kevin
that a
was
couple months
nasty.
ago. I think Kevin McHale was the best scorer on the Celtics for a couple of years
Kevin
before
McHale
was he
was so
injured.
nasty.
But I could make the argument Kevin McHale was a top 5 player on the planet. Like I can make the argument. Like that's how good he was. So, you have Larry Bird, who's maybe the best player or second best player, and then you have Kevin McHale, so, kind of good.
He was.
Didn't they
That's
trade
great.
the number 1 pick to get Robert
Yeah.
Parrish?
Don't even get me started on that. That was so
Joe Barry
goofy.
Carroll, I think, was the pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's how Danny Ainge got Jason Tatum, because he took the words. He basically copied Red Auerbach's model. The word on the street was, everybody knew that Joe Barry Carroll was the guy in Boston. Red Auerbach had no intention of taking Joe Barry Carroll. Kevin McHale was his guy, but he was telling everybody he wanted Joe Barry Carroll. So hey, here, how about you take this first overall pick, and how about you give me your number 3 pick? And in the process of him doing that, Damian, hey, how don't you take Robbie Parrish too? I'll throw him in there. Yeah, you can have him too. And look what that damn turned into. So fast forward a couple of years later. So take. These guys are still viable. You can have Kevin Garnett. You can still have Paul Pierce. You can still have Jason Terry. Knock yourself out. Yeah, I'll take your number 1 picks off your hands. Yes, and that number 1 pick, yeah, I really like this kid from Seattle. I really like this kid that plays at the University of Washington. I really like his game. You really like it? You like him too, don't you? How about we switch? How about you take my number 1 pick and I'll take your number 3 pick, and I'll take your number 1 next year too. Turns into Jason Taylor. I'm so sick of the Celtics, nigga.
Yeah, there was a lot of, somebody said in the chat in the year before they swindled to get Bird, there was a lot of tomfoolery in the 80s over draft picks. A lot of tomfoolery.
Yes.
A lot of bullshit going on, Swiper.
Yeah, the fact that the nastiest one to me, it's always going to be James Worthy though. Like that's never going to happen. Nothing's ever going to change that.
Those are the good old days, Swiper. The good
No,
old
they
days.
were not the good old days at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. No.
So when people complain about the NBA lottery
talking
now,
about luck.
just remember that there was
Right.
some tomfoolery going on.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean they
Back
were
in the day,
trading.
You could hit
They
a
were
team with
trading
the
premium
ooh-ah.
draft picks on great drafts for aging old players and like land rights. Like they had so many deals that were under the table deals for like just property or just it was ridiculous stuff that was happening from like the 50s.
And that's
60s,
good. That's good
70s,
business.
80s.
Swiper.
No, it's
That's
not.
good
No,
business.
it's not. It was very obviously a swindle. Is what it was. Yeah, it was swindling.
Nothing wrong with a good swindle every once
The
in a
mob
while.
was literally involved in some of these trades. That's how bad they were. Anyway, that's 5th on the list. Number 4 on the PC's greatest all-time duos list: Bill Russell and Bob Cousy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I had Bill Russell and Sam Jones, but cool. Bill Russell made it, so I don't know why it would be Cousy instead of Sam Jones though, because Cousy was done by like 61, and that's
Can
not
we
even like the
rewind?
best of Bill Russell.
Rewind really quickly. I want to get right back to the Swiper. So Mars, I'm going to throw some names, and I want you to tell me: Lajuan better than, and this is 87. Is Olajuwon better than
Oh,
Mikal?
Kevin McHale.
Bird,
Bird's better.
Magic,
Yeah,
Jordan,
for sure.
Moses.
No.
Who else is in the NBA?
Barkley.
No, I don't think he's better than Kevin McHale at that point.
Neek.
I don't think he's better than Kevin McHale.
Isaiah Thomas.
No.
All right. Okay.
I think Magic, Mike, Birds are better for sure. Hakeem, I'll listen. That's it. Really, everyone else. So yeah, I think Kevin McHale's better, unless I'm forgetting someone egregious. But yeah, I think Kevin McHale was better at that point. I don't know. People go back and watch some Kevin McHale, man. That guy was averaging like 25 and 10. Like, yeah, go box score, watch Kevin McHale at least. Do something. That was good.
So at number 4, we had Bill Russell and Bob Cousy, and then we were entering into the top 3. So just for the listening audience, John Stockton and Karl Malone at 10, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West at 9, 8, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, 7, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, 6, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, 5, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, 4, Bill Russell and Bob Cousy. At number 3, Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Let's
I
rewind.
had them at 6.
Let's rewind. So Mars, you said that with Cousy and Russell, Cousy after 61 was basically over. Is that fair? So like in 62, like if you think
Well, he
about
retired officially in 63. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
could move it all the
62.
way up to his retirement if you want. Yeah.
right. So 63. So what about from 50? Let's say from 59. Let's say from 58 to 60. Those 3 seasons.
Yeah.
With him and
I
Russ.
don't think that's better than Sam Jones on the fact that I think Bill, and this is once again very small sample of games and
Sure.
film available from these years. So take it with a pinch of salt. Bill Russell was so much better once you get into the mid 60s as opposed to his first couple years in the league that I would just rather have that version of Bill Russell that you get in the mid 60s alongside Sam Jones, one of the better scorers in the league, one of the better shooters in the league, as opposed to getting a few years of prime Bob Cousy with a younger Bill Russell. I just think, and then if I do think the talent level is close, which I do think it is with young Russell and Cousy versus prime Bill Russell and prime Sam Jones, then I'll start to look at the longevity and be like, well, that can be the separator. Then you get 10 plus years of Bill Russell and Sam Jones together, and they go out together. And it's like, yeah, that to me is quite clearly the duo of that team. Even if from a talent perspective, you could probably say John Havlicek is probably more talented, but he came on later in Bill Russell's career, so he doesn't get the prime Bill Russell either. I think Sam Jones and Bill Russell were so interlinked in terms of both at their best. That's why I viewed them as the duo on the team.
If I can counter that, Mars, even though Bill Russell was better from like 62, because he showed up in, I want to say Russell showed up in 56. So I think prime Russell is like 60, 61. So from 62 on, like he was a better bucket getter than he was early. But what he did for them defensively, because that was their Achilles heel.
Oh yeah, that was felt from the jump.
That was their Achilles heel. That's why they were losing to teams early on. So when you add Russ to that team, they became a top 3 defense, right? They became the best defense in the league, and they were winning the NBA championship. Yeah, sure, it was only 8 teams in the league, but I still got to see the better competition more. But in that short period of time, Russ catapulted that unit defensively with both him and Cousy being the transition guard that he was, made him even better. Now I can appreciate your logic about Sam. I can appreciate your logic about Sam Jones being the shooter that he was, but is shooting that much more prevalent at that time than being able to defend and rebound and push the break, which is what Cousy excelled on, and which is what Bill Russell excelled on, as opposed to what Sam Jones was doing?
Well, Sam Jones, I think, was a better defender than Bob Cousy. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think Bob Cousy's like transition stuff definitely was elevated, but I think Sam Jones in transition was great with his ability, because once again, this is a different era. It's not where everyone's just running out for threes and layups in transition. Sam Jones' ability, so you're gonna like this, his stop and pop game in transition, elite.
Sam Jones had a money stop and pop game. Yes,
and he was like one of the OG practitioners of the bank shot. Tim Duncan want to go with the credit. Sam Jones was doing that before it was cool. So like when I'm looking at it from that perspective, it's like Sam Jones was, you get to a point in like the mid 60s where he's their best scorer. He's helping out on defense. He's still really good in transition. Plus the shooting stuff. It's like, yeah, I think that's probably more valuable in conjunction with getting the best of Bill Russell, which I think comes 62, 63, 64, 65, that period. It's like, yeah, I'm probably going to favor those two as the duo. But once again, like similar to the Stephen Draymond thing or Stephen Clay, as long as Bill Russell is there, I don't care who you put next to him as the duo. As long as Bill Russell is there. I will say, now looking at this list, the fact that Tim Duncan doesn't make it with anyone is kind of concerning.
I had him on my list.
I had Duncan and Manu on my list. Is what I'm basically getting at. So I feel like that's kind of tough that
I ain't
Duncan
even
didn't get
thinking
any.
about them dudes. And the reason why I'm thinking about a trio.
Because it's a trio. Yeah.
That's why.
So
That's
we
the
can-
only
we
reason
had-
why.
Magic Johnson and Kareem at 3, and I think that probably speaks for itself for a lot of people why they're ranked that high. I'm curious if the top 2 are going to be at this point.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
We
Rewind.
know who it is, but I
Yeah,
had
we
them
know
at
who the top
6,
2
so,
is.
yeah, I had these guys at 6. So.
Swiper, you think that that's too high for them? These 2 guys?
Well, no, based on how old this list is, and that we're bringing players in from the 60s, no, I think this is about right. I think legacy 2 matters. They won multiple championships together, multiple MVPs. Obviously, when they were together, they're the Lakers. This is 1980 Showtime basketball. I mean, it was the greatest show on earth for at least 6 years. I understand. It makes sense to me.
I just don't
And
think
Jabbar-
their primes overlapped. That's
They
what
should
it is.
they should
Like,
be number 2.
by the time Magic gets to the Magic Johnson that is
Jabbar was over.
Kareem's tailing off. Like it's like
Yeah, Jabbar
that's
was
why I
over.
don't have them as high. Like the talent level is ridiculous. Like even 1980, when Kareem's the best player in the league, Magic is very clearly a top 10 player. So like that's still enough in order to get them high. But to have them number 3 when I don't think their primes overlaps, I don't think you get like a couple years where they're both top 5 players, but like it's not. That's why I was slightly lower.
When you say top 5 players, Mars, you say top 5 like when Jabbar was a top 5 player in '84, but he's still a top 5 player on the other end of who he was. Like he's still a top 5
like,
player.
it's
but
not
he
like
ain't
he's not
Jabbar
like
top 5.
he's not like an all-time great player at that point. Whereas Steph and KD were 2 of the top 3 and they were still in their primes. It's like we're looking at 2 top 15 players ever at the height of their careers. Whereas we're seeing Kareem, who's still a top 5 player in the league, but you can clearly see he's not a peak prime version of Kareem anymore. Like the rebounding fell off, the defense fell off, and he's still like this go-to post scorer. But then James Worthy starts ascending. They just didn't overlap enough for me the way I was viewing the list. But they were still good enough to where I would have them, obviously.
So with that being said, Mars, you can't use the logic that he had 2 top 10 players all time that they should have won more, because I got Jabbar on the other side of who he used to be. But
No, they should have. Well, I think winning 5 is more than enough. But I just think the reason they were still clearly the most talented team in the NBA, like the whole time, regardless of Kareem being at his best or not, they were still the most talented team in the NBA. And that's just some of the draft stuff,
Which is fair. You can definitely use that logic that they were clearly the most talented. But the 2 guys, I was, to your point, I was on the other side of who I used to be. I still was awesome, but I was on the other side of who I used to be.
Yeah, it's not like they had peak Kareem and Magic. Then it's like, yeah, that's probably number 1.
Yeah.
But they didn't, which is why I had them lower. But they still achieved a lot, did a lot of great things. Still really good. So
I had them at I had them at 3. That's why I had them at. Yep.
Number 2 on the list,
Shaq and Kobe.
Kobe Bryant and Shaq.
I had them at 1. And I didn't even think about it. I wrote them in like instantly. I didn't think twice.
Is that
Shaq
the
and
synergy
Kobe.
thing you're talking about?
Well, isn't this the same thing? Say that one more time, Penn.
Is it? I was curious if it was a synergy thing, because it's obviously not the number of rings they won.
It's a synergy thing. It's a talent level thing. No disrespect to Scottie Pippen, but between Mike, Shaq, Kobe, and Pippen.
Okay, so
respectfully.
Wait a minute, Mars. Isn't this
question for you. Hold on. Exactly. Same logic. I would argue the best of Shaquille O'Neal was in this trio, like in this duo. The period that they played together, that's probably like the best of Shaq. Like, right?
Yes,
sure.
But that's not the best of Kobe.
I agree.
It's part of it.
It's not.
But
It's
their
part of the
years,
prime of Kobe, but it's not his
their
peak.
years
Yeah, I
spent
agree.
together, like half of it, Kobe was like just too young. And
Well, yeah, I'm not really. When I think of Shaq and Kobe, I'm not really thinking about 96 to 99, really.
but this
I'm
is
thinking 01 to 04 mainly. 01 to
right.
03,
But like to. I don't know how much you're weighting longevity here, but like, doesn't Steph and KD get more of a boost because they both did it when they were at their peak? Jordan and Pippen, who inevitably are going to be number 1 on this list, don't they get a bit of a boost because they were both like they peaked together and they peaked very long? How does
You know,
Shaq and
peak is
Kobe?
high, not really. Steph and
Jordan-
KD
Jordan-
get a boost
I mean, you
because
got
they both
one
in their
year.
peak and they both peaked really high. But
But
Kobe
like,
and
by
Shaq,
the
like
end of this-
Shaq's peak is like rivaling Michael Jordan, in my opinion.
In
That's how
2000,
high I
sure.
think
For
he
real?
peaked. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we disagree. You think Kawhi peaked higher than him. So like we're very far
Yeah, you
apart in
wow
our
yourself for
evaluation of
that,
Shaq,
Yeah, you are.
which is fine. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just letting you know how I evaluate Shaq. So when I'm evaluating Shaq and I view his peak as rivaling the best ever, then I look at Kobe and I'm like, okay, Kobe in 01, Kobe in 02, Kobe in 03 is one of the 5 best players in the sport. Even though that's not peak Kobe, it's still one of the 5 best players in the sport, still playing at a really high level, all-time level, higher level than Scottie Pippen was at. Yeah, I value that more than MJ and Pippen, even though they have more longevity. Now, if the talent was between Pippen and Kobe was closer, then yeah, I would look at the longevity and be like, well, these guys were together for longer, so I will go with them. But I'm so comfortable in the talent level of Kobe in comparison to Pippen that I don't really view
What
longevity
version
as a
of
factor.
Kobe is better than 90?
The best of Pippen ain't even with Michael Jordan.
We've had
Can
this
I ask what a player's
conversation,
primes have to do
before
with them as duos,
before
though?
though, Pin. Like young,
Well, when you're playing, when you're really good.
those versions of Scottie Pippen is the gap isn't that as big as y'all want it to be with young Kobe. It's not as big as y'all want it to be at all.
Okay, yeah, we
Like,
disagree.
like-
01
like,
Kobe.
we
is
disagree.
That's what I was
we
thinking
we
about,
disagreed a
Mars.
lot
Like,
on these.
01
last
Kobe is just
6, you know.
yeah.
so
01
like,
Kobe
that, like,
is
2000, like,
clearly
two-
But why
It's
does a player's
2000
prime matter that much?
Well, it's the level,
Because,
like, why-
level
why-
in which you're playing at.
No,
It's
but
not
why
like
does a
I'm
player's
saying-
prime matter when it's what they achieve together as a duo?
Well, then,
Yeah, but I
I'm
don't care
confused
about what
about
they achieved.
well, then it
That's
should
not
be
what I would-
then it
that's
should
how
be
you rank
D-Wade
it.
and
We
Johnson
all
should
we
be
all
D-Wade
didn't
and
we all
Like I
didn't do
said,
the list the
D-Wade and
same way.
Bron, D-Wade and I viewed it as synergy, talent level, and then as a like tiebreaker, longevity would be a part of it. Bron and Wade, I think, lacked a certain synergy together, and D-Wade fell off after like the second year, so it's like, So that's why I had them slightly lower, but I still favored them over some other duos who had clearly better synergy and longevity because of the talent level. Steph and Draymond clearly synergized better than Bron and Wade, but the talent level is too undeniable. So I went with Bron and Wade. So I'm going to favor the talent level in most instances. Kobe and Shaq, talent level and synergy were elite. The longevity, not as elite as Magic and Kareem, if you want to say, Michael and Scotty. But for me, and this is where me and Ox can disagree, me and Cho can disagree, that's fine. 01 Kobe, 02 Kobe, 03 Kobe, in my opinion, is so much better than Scottie Pippen. And that's no disrespect to Scottie Pippen. Maybe that's just how highly I view Kobe. But he's so much better than Scottie Pippen that I'm not really looking at as like, yeah, I got Shaq, I got MJ. Sure, once you get past 2000, MJ's peak for like 3 years is better than Shaq's. But Shaq is right there, one of the 3 best peaks ever, in my opinion. Then I get Kobe, who's playing at an all-time level, one of the best players ever, one of the best scorers in the league. Plus, I get the synergy. Yeah, I'm going to take Kobe and Shaq as the best duo ever. I'm not really going to think twice about it. And then when I go to seconds, because I had Steph and KD above MJ and Pippen. Once again, Steph and KD are so much better than Scottie Pippen to me. Like I don't even think twice. Once again, it's not like that's not even a conversation.
What is this gap? Because I know it's not passing, and I know it's not defense,
Kobe?
and I know it's not rebounding.
It's playing the sport. I don't know. It's just I watch.
Is it? Is it?
He just think he's better at basketball all the way
shot-
around.
is it
Yeah,
just shot-
I
is it just shot
watch
creation?
Kobe play, and I can very obviously see.
Well, I
he's
think
best.
that's a similar leverage thing with SGA though, because my mind as soon went there when Mars said the gap.
Because if
Scotty was
that's
good.
the argument,
Scotty-
then you would say Scottie Pippen is still better than Pete Kobe Bryant because he still has the same advantages. He's still a better defender than Pete Kobe. He's actually a better. Pete Kobe was worse defensively than Kobe was Shaq. So that defensive gap actually widens. He's still a better passer than Kobe. So he's still a better rebounder than Kobe. So why is Scottie Pippen not better than Pete Kobe Bryant based on the same measurement? And if you think he is, hey, all power to you. But
Well, no.
Well, I mean, we all
but-
kind of did this
because-
list a little different too, though. Like for instance,
Which is-
Chill
yeah, but-
Chill left a lot of duos off because there was a third player that he thought was in there. Morris did it his way, I did it my way. We all did it a little different. I mean, that's the beauty.
it
of the
came
list.
out
So
like reasonable.
I think it's fine. I do.
What were some
I do
duos that
think,
guys left off?
I do
What
think
were
there's
some of those
differences.
duos?
The
Because
reason
I had,
why I
like,
left Tony
there was a
Parker
few on
and
there.
Tim Duncan off because Manu Ginobili was on it. The reason why I left Tony Parker, the reason why I left
They
Manu
had
Ginobili
James
and Tim
Worthy with
Duncan-
Kareem and Magic though.
That's what I was going to
Yeah,
ask.
James-
because James
I
Worthy
had Worthy and
glad you
I had
put that
Worthy
up,
and
Mars.
Magic on
And
my
then
list. I had Worthy
Steph
and Magic
Clay,
on my
KD.
list. As a
I'm
matter of
glad
fact,
you
I
brought
think
that up,
I think I had them number 9, Worthy and
So
Magic.
did you not have
James-
any of these duos, Ox? You didn't have Bill Russell and them, Wilt Chamberlain? You didn't have those?
But see, I had Russell and Kuzi. I didn't have Wilt in.
How does having
West.
a third man matter?
I did. I had Wilt and Hal Greer. I did.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. They had Billy Cunningham though,
I-
so you could argue they were a trio.
but I think Billy Cunningham came in
Thomas and
later.
Joe Dumas made mine.
I think that was Billy Cunningham rook season that year that
Yeah,
they in '67 when they won the NBA championship. I think Billy Cunningham was if he wasn't a
younger
rookie.
player.
Yeah, if he wasn't a rookie, that
Hey, what was the wait?
But
Chill. What was the duo for Detroit then when they won?
I had Joe Dumas and Isaiah Thomas in.
But how when they had a third?
Oh
scorer
yeah,
that changed their
another
team?
duo that didn't even cross my mind. Yeah,
But
Okay,
they had a
well,
third scorer that
third-
would add to the roster that changed their team that made them a championship team.
But that third
One of the best scorers in the league, mind you.
that third scorer that they had when they added him, I mean Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumas was already just like Steph Curry and Clay as a backcourt. I mean, they were already considered.
They don't win without Ant Danley though. Like not even close. They don't come close to.
They didn't win without Danley. You talk about Mark Aguirre. That's
Mark Aguirre.
That's not Aguirre.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
right.
What
But
I'm saying
Mark
is,
Aguirre
but if you're as high as them as you are, and then you're as high as Kareem and Magic as you are, but then we can say that like James Worthy is the one that like made them what they were. Like he changed that series when he won Finals MVP. Like he was an elite scorer.
that was 5 years later after they got
him.
him though. I 6 years later after.
No, I know, but like
Magic and
that's a
Kareem
duo.
were already a top duo before.
It's a duo
Yeah.
that added a third player, and they were winning.
Yeah,
with them.
but
I'm saying the
James
same
Worthy,
thing applies to the Celtics, by the way. Like the same exact thing applies to the Celtics. They had an elite number 3.
Okay, with them having an
Yeah,
elite
Dennis
number
Johnson
three,
as
I
well.
don't think that. Yeah, I mean they had that goes to your point.
These teams were stacked. With the moral of the story.
Yeah,
This list shows that there's actually a lot of great trios, not great
Right.
duos, just duos.
You know, Damien, I was going to say
Sure.
that earlier. We probably should have did a list of trios. That probably would have been a little better.
Because talk
But
about
there
Tony
are-
Parker,
there are-
Manu, Duncan.
Exactly.
A lot of these
There are
guys have 3
multiples
people.
on here that I got on my list. Like for instance, I got Kareem and Magic at 2, and then I got Magic and Worthy at 10. You know what I'm
Can
saying?
we read off everyone?
I got
read off our lists?
Yeah, I got so I'll go. I got obviously I got Jordan and Scotty 1, Kareem and Magic 2, Shaq and Kobe 3, Bird and McHale 4, Bron and Wade 5, Russell and Cousy 6, Steph and KD 7, Malone and Stockton 8, Steph and Clay 9, Magic and Worthy 10.
Steph and KD below Bron and Wade.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that-
at 10,
Those
At
could be
10,
flip flopped. I can see where that could be flip flopped. But I mean that goes to what you were saying earlier though. Like Bron to me is so much better. Than
Understand?
you know?
Understand? Yeah, it's Bron. I ain't gonna
to
argue
answer your question, Swiper. So I want to get back to your question, Swipe. I don't want to deter from that because we are going to get back to this. But to answer your question, I think that group was built around Isaiah Thomas, and one of the main reasons was that backcourt between both Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumas. With those two guys together, I feel like as good as that defense was, as good as the Detroit Bad Boys defense was, their offense. As good as Bill Laimbeer was as a pick and pop big, as a stretch big, that's basically Kevin Love in the 1980s. As good as he was, that offense was built around both Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumas as a duo. Those two guys together, and it showed when we got into the postseason how much better they were as a duo. I mean, to talk about championships, they're the only backcourt in NBA history to win Finals MVP. Can no other backcourt in NBA history say that they've done that? Both Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumas did that. So that's why I look at them as a duo, and I feel like Mark Aguirre added to that. Just like when you talk about, just like Ox, when you talk about James Worthy came in and he added to what Jabbar and Magic were already doing when they got him. And don't get me wrong, that's a huge addition, getting James Worthy, right? But he did add to what they were already doing.
How's that not apply to
They had a
the
young
Spurs
Dennis
game?
Rodman as well. Sure.
Yeah.
What Spurs?
How
He
did
didn't
that
have
not
the
apply
Spurs on his
to?
list.
He didn't have.
I did not. No, I didn't. Mm-mm.
Can I hear your list, Joe? Because I think yours is like
Yes.
the most far away from mine.
So I have at 10, I got Wes and Baylor. At 9, I got Doc and Moses. At 8, I got Chamberlain and Hal Greer. At 7, I got Stockton and Malone. 6, I got Isaiah and Joe Dumas. 5, I got Steph and Clay. 4, I got Cousy and Russell. 3, I got Magic and Jabbar. 2, I got Shaq and Kobe. And 1, I got Jordan and Pippen.
Okay. I got Duncan and Manu at 10, Steph and Draymond at 9, Bird and McHale at 8, Bron and Wade at 7, Magic and Kareem at 6, Bill Russell and Sam Jones at 5, Wilt and Jerry West at 4, MJ and Pippen at 3, Steph and KD at 2, Kobe and Shaq at 1.
That Steph and KD shit, man. That shit was so unfair.
I actually
Oh,
forgot about LeBron and Wade. which is amazing to me.
I
but
forgot about
yeah,
Steph and KD.
Yeah, I had
Mars, that's like Shaq jumping on the Bulls when they won a championship.
Exactly.
That's what that
And
is.
somehow they're not top 5. Like, you
That's
see what I'm talking
Shaq
about?
jumping on the Bulls and going, you know what? I don't want to play for the Orlando Magic no more. Nope, I don't want to go to Los Angeles. I'm going to play with Jordan. Give me a break.
You got the second and third best player on the planet
forgot
in their
'cause
primes
Steph
on the
played.
same team for multiple years, and they're not top 5. Like, I don't.
I had Steph on my list twice, but Steph and Clay never made my list once. So my 10 was Jokic and Murray. Interestingly enough, from a basketball synergy standpoint, championship, they got it all, right? That was 10, 9, Wes Baylor, 8, Steph and Durant, 7, Duncan Ginobili, 6, Steph and Draymond, 5, Russell Cousy,
Wait, say
4,
your first your three again over. Your last
3. I didn't get to 3.
No, your last 3.
Yeah, for 10, 9, and 8.
Oh, so 10, Jokic,
Mhm.
Murray, number 9, Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. Number 8, Steph and Durant. Number 7, Duncan and Ginobili. Number 6, Steph and Draymond. Number 5, Russell and Cousy. Number 4, Mikhail and Bird. Number 3, Shaq and Kobe. Number 2, Magic and Kareem. And number 1, Jordan and Pippen.
Who about you, Swiper? Who'd you have?
No, Damien, do you have your list? Did you already give yours?
Yes. Stockton, Malone, 10. I forgot Steph and Clay. Steph and KD, they would be on here. But then I had Isaiah, Joe Dumars, Duncan Parker, Bird McHale, Russell Cousy, LeBron Wade, Steph, Clay, Kobe, Shaq, Magic, Kareem, Jordan, Pippen.
Why Duncan Parker?
Duncan had to be on there, to your point. It was Duncan and someone. I chose Tony just because of the finals MVP.
Understandable. Manu got robbed in 05. It's what it is, man. Damn.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I had some honorable mentions that maybe make it a little fun. I think Westbrook and Durant definitely qualify for honorable mention. Very short period, lasted like this long. James Harden, Kevin Durant was pretty special.
I did think about them, but I was like, at some point, I have to factor in like longevity. Like they played together for 6 months, but like that talent level was so high. I actually did think about.
Y'all didn't consider Anthony Davis and Boogie?
I thought about AD and Bron. Like all jokes aside, I thought about AD and Bron.
I knew Ox was going to say that. I knew he was going to do it.
I thought about AD and Bron. I thought about Bron and Kyrie, and I thought about Bron and Wade.
Penn, what's wrong, bro? Chill.
So I thought about all of them.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about how many aspirins I gotta pop after this, man.
You gonna get
I definitely did not think about AD and
Marcus
Boogie.
Cousins,
Yeah,
half a
definitely
season.
Did y'all not think about Rudy Gay and Rajon Rondo?
We did not.
Did you not think about KG and Paul Pierce? Just for Ox? Did you not think?
Did you not think about 100 other people?
Because I
Kemp and
thought about
Payton.
KG and Paul Pierce, but I
Kemp
was
and
like,
Payton was
I
a
really
big
that didn't even cross my mind. But they wouldn't have made the list though, because when I think I got Magic and Worthy at 10.
If KG and Terrence meniscus, I would have. Then maybe they could have made it. But
They would have won it again that next year.
Yeah,
They definitely.
It's not like
I think they would've
27
won it
or
again.
something.
They
were
chill. They
better
could have
than-
three-peated. I don't think y'all
They were
understand how pivotal Perkins was.
The way they were playing, like they were better than.
I think they winning it.
Yeah.
Didn't they win 60
Perkins-
games that year? Something like that?
Something.
Yeah, well, Perkins was so
KG tours,
pivotal
yeah.
too that when he went out, that cost them too. They could have three-peated.
Let me check that record because I
And
know
that game
they were
58,
something.
Are Mike Bibby and Chris Webber kind of underrated in terms of just how well they synergized?
That whole
Nope.
team is underrated.
Webber wasn't with the
in my
drama.
opinion.
Sorry.
That whole team.
Good
is
What do you mean
underrated.
with the drama?
Webb wasn't with the drama. He wasn't.
Kemp and Payton.
Nope.
Kemp and Payton was an
Good.
honorable mention.
yeah. I had AD and Braun honorable mention. 10, Murray, Jokic, Bird, and Mikhail 9, Duncan and Ginobili 8, West and Baylor 7, Steph and Dre 6, Wilton West 5, Magic and Kareem 4, Steph and KD 3, Jordan and Pippen 2, and then Shaq and Kobe 1.
Wait,
You guys
Spike, who do you
actually
got at
think
10?
Jamal Murray and Jokic are a top 10 duo? Like both of you?
I
guys
think just
actually think
pure synergy. Yeah, I think they're going to finish higher than that when they get done, because they're
When
going to
you say
have
pure
they'll have.
synergy. What do you mean by that, Swiper?
I think from 3-level scoring standpoint, like I also will dare to say I don't think there's, in terms of dual who can score in the clutch, from 3, pull up, mid range, post work, like any action you want, empty side, pick and roll, whatever. I legit don't know who's been better in the modern era. And I think they're going to have so many years together and so many playoff runs together. They're going to like force themselves in the conversation. But I think Murray just also is a victim of his time. I think if Murray existed in a different time, he'd be more widely regarded as a player. He just exists in a player. You know, there's so many guards, but also he's peaking.
Can't we
at
say that
28.
about a bunch of different players?
Am I tripping if I say Kobe
Yeah, but
and
what-
Powell is a better duo than Jokic and Murray? Am I tripping?
No, they
No,
absolutely
you're not
are.
tripping, Mars.
I
What
disagree
about
with that
Shaq
personally,
and
but-
Penny?
Not
What
tripping.
about Shaq and Penny?
Yeah, you
Shaq and
are.
Penny was
That's-
cold too.
That's a better duo.
Shaq and Penny was cold. Yeah, I agree. Shaq and Penny was cold.
I think what the list also shows is that in the modern era, it's actually going to be hard for any of these guys to make this list because of the player movement, because the landscape of the league, the CBA and things. I think this list will always probably be catered towards more the old school because guys just stay together longer. Like, Chill, to your point, like you don't win 500 games with someone else nowadays, man.
Yeah,
like
That's not happening.
that just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting how the sort of those duos and trios have evolved over time.
How does
And I think Murray and Jokic are like I don't know if it's still there because Murray's last year, but Murray and Jokic I think were the only duo ever to do 25, 5 and 5 together, like on a playoff run if I remember correctly. Mars.
So, Swiper, wouldn't you be
I
I
forced?
think I did see that somewhere.
KD didn't do that. KD and Steph.
Well, I mean, I think from a career, it was like through 23 what they had
Okay.
done,
Okay.
but I think it's gone down because Murray obviously dealt with the
respectfully, I
stuff.
forgot about LeBron and Wade. I also forgot about Kobe and Powell, which is shit. So if I remembered all
Those
the
guys are
duos, if I
awesome.
had like a little bit more time, I don't think Murray and Jokic are making my top. But
If they win this year, I think they get on a lot of people's lists.
well,
'cause
they're
they'll
not
have to-
winning. They're not winning.
Well,
this
I know,
year.
I'm
Had
just saying,
Duncan and
it's-
Manu at 10. I
it's
doubt Jokic
hypothetically.
and Murray are catching them within like the next.
Yeah, I had Duncan
season.
and Manu at 8. I had Duncan and Manu at 8. That's just so many years for me. I think Manu just very
I think that they're a
underrated.
great
historically.
duo. Like those two guys, the way that they operate together, like what we saw in 23.
Yeah.
I mean, the way Jamal Murray operated off of Joker, the way Joker operated off the synergy word that you guys use,
Yeah.
like the parts were definitely bigger than the sum with those two guys. I mean,
And
they
so
If you're
It's sort
talking
of been a
about
good
if you're
synergy.
talking about how two guys play off each other, Jokic
those
and
two
Murray,
guys
man,
are great. Yes,
it's crazy, bro.
Here's a question to shoot off this topic. Who's the greatest duo that played together, which would have been like the greatest if they had played in their prime together?
well. So I'm glad you
Because
brought
I'm
that
thinking
up. 'Cause I was
Duncan.
just about to ask-
I'm thinking the Twin Towers. I'm thinking Duncan and Robinson.
Drexler Hakeem would have been crazy too.
I was thinking about what Swiper just said about both Jamal Murray and Joker. Are they what
Great
Garnett
question.
and Marbury were supposed to be?
Was Marbury better than Jamal Murray, Mars?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I think he was.
I do too.
Bron and
Yeah,
Shaq,
there's
an
much
interesting
different.
one.
I don't.
So much different players.
I don't know. Maybe I'm lower. I'm typically lower on stuff on Marbury in general.
I just feel like with both Marbury and Garnett, I don't think we got an opportunity. I mean, they got him in '96. He was only there they only had him for like what 2 years. After '98, he was gone. I
Hey,
just feel like-
T-Mac and Yao with no injuries.
Yeah. There's some
Yeah,
what
that would
if
be
duos.
crazy.
We should do a what if duo maybe list one day.
I think that
They got
I think
Prime,
that
Nash,
duo-
and Kobe together instead of
They would
Kenny and
have
Shaq.
they would have beat the Lakers, by the way, if they were both fully healthy together.
What T-Mac and Young?
Yeah, woulda. I will trust T-Mac to get out of the first round when he showed me he can get out of the first round, which he never did.
Nash and Amar is a good one. That's a good one too.
Nash and Dirk.
Nash
if
and
you had
Dirk.
like,
Oh,
if you had,
they
if you
never
had
would've
like
traded.
Prime Nash with that
Brother.
Dirk, yeah.
2007, Steve Nash and Dirk together.
Mark
That would've
Cuban just let Steve Nash walk out the front door. Bye.
Dude, I
He's
told
let
you
him
there
walk.
was man.
For what
there's-
it's worth, I don't think the
Got tricky
signs
with
of
the contract.
MVP Nash were kind of there in Dallas. Like, he was good. Like, don't get me wrong.
Well, a system
But I
change,
don't think.
no doubt about
Yeah,
it.
I don't
Wasn't he
think. I don't,
All-NBA?
and the rules changed. I don't think that he made All NBA in Dallas. But
Nash
he
doesn't
was
sign-
like-
sign-
The signs of
Yeah.
jumping from 15 to 6 weren't there. I mean, if
Yeah, but
when he
like,
made
it's
All
not-
NBA, if he was a top 20
he was,
player,
he was very clearly like the level of improve. Not to mention Nash was like 30 at this point. So yes, I will say that.
That's fair.
Like the level of like the fact that the rules changed, and then you get the Suns who are ahead of the curve, and Mike D'Antoni, and then Steve Nash being healthier, and like all of that in conjunction at the age of 30, after everything he'd gone through in his career, yeah, I don't think Mark Cuban and whoever in Dallas could have seen that coming.
Mars,
To be honest, I don't
everyone
really
in their
blame
prime, and then we're gonna get the Crunch Time Super Chat so I can make sure I'll get off the show on time. Everybody in their prime, would the Lakers in 04 be the greatest team of all time?
Yes.
Oh, they asked about this not too long ago.
Yes.
I think we said we spoke about the 2011 Celtics with Shaq and KG and Paul Pierce and Rondo.
But Gary Payton, and Gary Payton, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Shaq, and then a prime Walton. So that's like game 3 Walton.
Luke Walton.
Every
Prime
game,
Luke
3. Yeah,
Luke Walton.
the 8 assists, Luke
Do
Walton.
you remember
every
him,
game.
Swipe? Do you remember him, Pin?
Luke was cold.
remember
What are you about to start? Oh my! Hey, chill out. We not about to start glazing Luke on. We not about to do this. Hell no.
Yes, we are.
Hell no. We good.
100%.
We good. We good. Shout out to Luke Walton, man. Shout out to Luke Walton. He had himself a successful career. He stayed around the Lakers.
So
for a minute.
Shaq, so
But hell
Shaq,
no.
Bryant, Peyton, Malone, plus Derek Fisher, plus Robert Horry was already gone at that point. Rick Fox was still on that team too,
Rick
by the way.
Fox,
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Horace
Rick
Grant
Fox
was
was
on
still
that team, if I remember correctly. Horace Grant.
Yeah, Horace Grant came back. That's correct.
Devin George.
Are they
was
better?
there.
Are they better than this Clipper team, all in their prime?
This Clipper team?
Kawhi, James,
The
Bradley
19
Bill,
Warriors with
Chris Paul
DeMarcus
before he
Cousins.
gets cut. 19 Warriors is what I was thinking about. Because Steph Clay.
Also, the 2018 Cavs is a weird one where it has like Derrick
when he had
Rose,
Derrick
Dwayne
Rose
Wade,
and D Wade in
LeBron.
them.
Yeah, weird.
Ugh.
That would have been weird. And
Ugh,
Kevin Love.
Not outside shooting. Ugh. There's been quite a few teams that were like 5 years ago. There's been quite a few teams.
This
who have
Clipper
been like
team,
that.
for me, this Clipper team, 100%. I'm thinking 5 years ago, they are the favorites. No doubt about it. With Leonard and James Harden, Chris Paul, no doubt about it. They're the favorites. Not in the West, but they are the favorites, period.
Non-COVID adjusted roster still might be the Nets, though. If COVID just
The
didn't
Brooklyn
exist.
team.
Yeah, if it just never existed, it could have been special stuff.
Honestly, the
Yeah.
answer to this
That Brooklyn
is,
team
the
with, like,
2000
KG.
Blazers. Hold up, the 2000 Blazers are the right
Arvydas.
answer. Arvydas Sabonis in his prime, Scottie Pippen in his prime, Rasheed Wallace in his prime, Damon Stoudemire in his
James
prime,
Stoudemire, yeah.
Steve Smith,
Oh, yes.
Jermaine O'Neal,
Lonzie Wells.
Hey,
Yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them. Good team.
Jermaine
Good team. Good
O'Neal,
team.
Yeah,
Brian Grant.
They not in
Deadlift
these teams.
Strength.
Shout out to them. Though.
Deadlift
Shout out to them.
Strength.
They were good.
Dude,
Shout out to them. Shout out to them. They were good.
you bringing up Luke Walton. I'm talking
No,
about
I
Deadlift
didn't.
Strength.
I didn't. That was
Wow.
swipe. But yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, the 2011 Celtics are just like clearly a bad team than that. But, you know, shout out to them.
That's just with Shaq, Garnett, and Paul Pierce.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Just
lie. You have
those two
Shaq,
guys. I ain't even
Ray
talking
Allen,
about Rondo.
Paul Pierce,
Mm.
Shaq, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce,
Oh, that-
and Kevin Garnett. Yeah, okay.
But how about the 14 Nets where they had Garnett, Paul Pierce, Joe Johnson, Brooke Lopez, Deron Williams, right?
So Shaq is destroying an 80, 85 Sabonis. You comfortable with that? Just destroying him?
I can't speak on the Sabonis I
Uh-uh.
never saw. I'm
I
just
can't get with
you,
that.
You
Okay,
old
that's-
people. You old people.
It's
can
a
talk about
Joker and Sabonis. They ain't the same player, Mars, but they live in the same neighborhood.
Sabonis would be
Sabonis-
closer.
Sabonis
Sabonis-
plays defense, right?
Yeah, he'd
Respectfully,
be more respectfully.
to
Sabonis would be
Jokic.
closer to Donovan Clingan in terms of body type, than Jokic. Like Jokic is not.
Oh, in terms of body type, yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
that's way off.
What are we
Yes,
talking about? Arvydas Sabonis was close to Donovan Clingan as a body type.
Closer than Jokic. Yeah, Jokic has no verticality at
Yeah,
all.
he's 7'3". He's like Donovan Clingan's height.
Is he on your
He
top
looks like
10
the
of all
biggest man
time,
on the
Pen?
court all times. Yeah, he's
Arvydas
definitely.
Sabonis was like a fluid mover. He's not a clunky like he wasn't.
Yeah, but he's
better
better
mover
He's a
than-
body type, not
Yeah,
fluidity.
better mover. He better mover than Jokic. Yeah, and so Donovan Clingan also a better mover than Jokic for verticality. So just
Well,
he's
if
much
we're
better at
just
that.
talking wingspan and verticality, then yes. But if we're talking like balance, coordination, lateral quickness, and just footwork, I think Jokic is a better mover than you're giving him credit for, which is amazing to be saying that to you. But yeah, I don't think Jokic is some
discussed
terrible mover just because he
I
can't
didn't bring
get
up any of that stuff.
We just got
But-
some breaking news, Swiper, by the way.
Oh my god, there's
What's
breaking
the
news.
breaking news? Please don't tell me the Raptors traded for Nick Richards. I'm gonna cry.
What's the
I
breaking
told
news?
you like 3 days ago, Pen. You ignored me.
Chris
I told you
Haynes
this.
on
Play this season.
Chris Haynes on Jason Tatum. He told me he's coming back this season.
Jason Tatum. is on-
Yay! And who told you Jason Tatum was coming back this season?
Yeah, well, hopefully it
This
works
guy
out.
right here.
Yeah, hopefully that works out for them.
got jumped.
Chris, so he's saying he was told that he's going to come back this year.
Yeah, that's why they're good. They're a good team.
I
There
don't
you
think
go.
they expect it to be this good.
Can they
if I'm
shake
being
it up?
honest.
Maybe.
Notally did. I mean,
Yeah,
if
Okay,
you're saying
I'm
that,
still-
yo, I
based
thought
on
he was
the
going to
moves
be.
they I understand they were
shouldn't- he
cutting
shouldn't come
salary,
back,
but
by the
when
way.
they got off of Drew, when they got off of Porzingis, when they built this front court, I don't think they expect it to be as good as they are. If I'm being honest, but maybe I'm way off. But I don't think they expect it to be this good.
I'm still not pro.
And if Jason
Tatum
Tatum is
plays.
coming back, that means Anthony Simons.
No,
needs to
he
get
shouldn't
traded.
come back,
Like,
man.
Yeah.
You
He
need to go
shouldn't.
move it. Move
All right,
Anthony
let's get to
Simons.
these
Move
super
Westbrook
chats so I
already.
can get you all out here on time, and I have some
ahead.
people coming to the house to make everything look nice and pretty. Tupac Westside 474 $5 super chat. Small guards can still be good defenders despite the disadvantage. Muggsy, Kidd, Smart, are good
Jason
examples.
Kidd.
Also,
Jason Kidd and
W-
Marcus Smart are huge.
6'4" guard, Jason Kidd and Marcus Smart.
Jason Kidd.
Put him
Jason
in
Kidd was a
Muggsy
huge
Bogues
guard.
conversations.
Huge.
Also, for what it's worth,
How big's
Muggsy
how
Bogues
big's
in
David
today's
Mitchell?
game would be unplayable.
No, he cannot survive in today's game. No way.
Muggsy Bogues in today's game would be unplayable. But shout out to him because I
yeah,
go back and watch him.
Muggsy or Nate Robinson? Who you got?
Nate
Who's
Robinson.
better?
I think Muggsy was a better player than Nate Robinson, like
I do
relative
too.
to that time.
Goon King Forever $5 super chat. Nobody is safe from behind when playing against Josh Hart.
Bro, it was AI.
Yeah, he's talking about the
No,
celebration.
no, what Goon did,
AI.
he sent this yesterday as a troll. That's what he's trying to do. Like, you think we care about him sticking his finger up this dude's butt? Like, I don't
You
care about
don't
that,
care?
yo. I don't care about that. I do not.
On national
don't.
television,
I
chill.
don't care. I do not. No, I don't care about that. I couldn't care less. That's some
Okay,
shit that you
Mars,
do. This
you're
some shit that
doing
you
this?
kids.
As
Yo,
solidarity.
I'm just showing
That shit is
solidarity, man.
assault.
You
It's
do.
it was a whole lot of
I don't
nothing.
care
Joe.
about
It was
that.
a whole lot.
I
Of
don't
nothing.
hear
That's
nothing
all it
about you
was.
and
I
number
don't
32
care.
anymore.
I don't care. I wish I could say I cared about that. I don't care. Oh,
I don't know what to tell you, chill. If I had a
was love,
teammate who
man.
did that shit to me in national television, bro.
Wait, do what? You talking about the
Oh.
inches for inches thing?
No, I'm saying like on national television during the Selly, only game on national television, and you're gonna try to stick a finger up my butt on national
it was-
I don't know.
television.
I missed something in my absence. I'm sorry. Somebody's at the door. Tupac Westside $5 super chat. Follow up. My bad. Minus Muggsy. I meant small compared to the twos and wings that they named with the guard. So, sure.
doesn't that say a lot about Muggsy Bogues and what he was able to do? I mean, he's got the best assist turnover.
Five- was he
ratio
5'5",
in
5'3"?
NBA history.
Was he 5'3" or-
5'3"?
Muggsy
Yeah,
Bogues
'cause
is like
Yo. That's literally this big.
That's crazy, bro.
He
And then Earl
played
Boykins was
14 years in the
5'5".
NBA.
Who was better, Earl Boykins or Muggsy?
Muggsy. I think
Muggsy.
I think Muggsy was
a decent ball player, man.
Good. Muggsy was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
legitimately good player, which I think says a lot about.
Chill. We
State.
cannot let this slide.
I
You
think Earl
telling
Boykins
me if
would
a
have
dude
been.
did that
I
to
don't
you
care.
on national television, you
Let's
wouldn't.
move
you
on.
wouldn't
We got to
turn around
move
and
on. We got to
deck him.
move on. We got to move on. Unfortunately, I know.
Yes,
I
I
know.
would.
Sorry. I
There
apologize.
we go. Okay, so you do care.
All right. Next super chat. Anatomica Studios 28884. $5 super chat. I think Mobley would thrive more with a stretch big with size like Jokic, Cat, Reed, Horford. Duran reminds me of DeAndre Jordan in 2012 Amari.
He is a stretch big. He himself is a
trying to
stretch
be.
big. Well, I mean, like he shot
Amari-
like pretty
Amari
real
clears.
37% from three last year, did he not? Something like that. Shooting
Yeah.
like 35% this year. How is he not a stretch big?
Well, I think they're saying he just needs to play next to someone who could also do
Okay,
something
so if he
similar.
played next to Karl Anthony Towns, he's like way better.
Do you know what the
I
volume
think there's a
was?
world where he plays next to a better center. He's probably better. I've said for
Make the
years I
call,
would love
New
to see
York.
him.
I think Mobley is a center, but
It's Mr. GQ2U. $10 super chat. Tune into Jake Paul's boxing career funeral tomorrow night on Netflix. And Alicia Bomb Ballgardner. She came out with the weigh-in today.
That's
Crazy
that's
athlete.
It's supposed to
You
be
think
Baumgartner.
you think
I
all
think
these
of-
Jake
She's
Paul
one of them
fights are
ones.
staged?
She's one of them ones. If you know, you know.
Yeah, no doubt. My one of my business partners, she's really good friends with Alicia Baumgartner, so we see a lot of her
Yeah, she's
work, and a lot
amazing.
of things she does. Alicia Baumgartner is cold.
She can
needs
put
to
some-
make sure she leaves Clarissa alone, but other than that, keep going, Alicia.
Yeah, I think
I got
Jake Paul
Jake Paul
fighting
winning,
that
by the
man
way.
is going to be very interesting. If he takes it serious, Jake Paul will lose very quickly.
This
But-
isn't
Nah,
if this
If
is
it was
at
serious,
all. Yeah, if
right.
this is at all a serious boxing match, then this
Yes.
wouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? That's how you know this is not a serious
Jake
boxing
Paul's
match.
Jake Paul's gonna win. You guys just keep doubting his boxing
Well,
ability.
no.
That's
My
Mars.
thing is, and I've said this before.
He got knocked out by a fat dude, Ox.
I
He
got
knocked out by a
'cause
fat dude.
but no, that fat dude got hands though. Fat or not,
Yeah.
is a dangerous man. My thing is, I was actually the one up here defending Jake Paul and actually saying like
You remember,
when you
right?
actually get in there and when you're putting in that work, I respect Jake Paul for actually taking boxing seriously. I think Jake Paul has actually over the past couple of years taken it very seriously and has gotten much better. And I you have to respect anybody that gets in that ring as in a combat situation
Paul, an
and is
actual
serious
boxer.
about it.
Ah.
Now with that being said, if this is a serious boxing match,
It's over.
Anthony Joshua is going to hurt this dude.
Yeah.
All right,
But it's-
we'll be back here on Monday.
He's washed, but he's washed to a degree that he's still an elite fighter, like
But-
relative to.
And
man
chill,
fighting.
Ruiz
He's
ain't nothing to
massive
play
as well.
with. Chill, fat or
Mars,
not.
don't you think like winning this if
He's
if
straight
you know
square.
Joshua does not even take a swing at him and it clearly looks like he's on a restriction of not being able to throw punches and the
I'll
whole
just
thing
say
looks
that Jake
staged.
Paul was so quick that Joshua couldn't land a punch.
I
That's
feel
all.
like what if look, listen, like all of this, I think you believe you can actually bet on these boxing matches? Like you could actually take a bet on Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. And I think a lot of people lost a lot of money that day thinking there ain't no way Mike Tyson, even 5,000
why
year
would
old
you
Mike
bet
Tyson
on a man
ever-
older than Chill to win a boxing
Yeah,
fight?
Jake Paul was after the first round was very against Mike. He could
Against a younger guy, by the way, Mars. Not just
coulda-
not,
he
Yeah,
coulda
like,
ended
doesn't
that
it,
fight
like,
with Mike in the
no,
second round.
we know what Mike Tyson was back in his heyday. Cool. The guy's like 60.
Yeah,
Like,
he
I don't know
was
what you
62
thought
years
was
old.
going to happen. Yeah, I
It
don't know
was
what you
over.
thought
It
was
was-
going to happen.
Yeah, after the first round, it
That's
was
just
over.
biology, respectfully. Like,
Yeah, Jake Paul could have easily won that fight, but thank goodness he saved his life in that ring, which he literally did. Hunter TV, $10 super chat. I'd be mad as heck if my team tried cheating the cap and we sucked this badly. I don't know. They tried the aspirations tree things and they really sunk their franchise. Steve
just wait
Ballmer,
till
man.
Derrick Jones is back, man.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer, LSD
Mm.
the
Ballmer.
Derrick Jones effect. You gotta love it.
Exactly.
Wait,
hold
We're
on.
gonna see
Is
it.
hell a
Real
swear
MVP.
word?
What?
You censored hell to heck?
I mean, I just
Some
typically
people don't want to.
curse
Some
on
people don't
all
want to
platforms.
speak
Yeah.
of
Okay,
the
gotcha,
eternal
gotcha,
damnation.
gotcha.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why I try to not use that kind of language, but I know I fail at times because I'm but a man, obviously. Big Za, Double O JJK, the GOAT anime, obviously Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen. $10 super chat. Talking draft. Not only does OKC get Clippers pick, but gets Chaz pick as long as it's not top 8. They already have Sober.
Sorba.
Well, I'm saying
He's
T,
probably
so-
George playing Sorba.
Sorber.
Thomas Sorba. That's who he's talking about.
Okay.
That
Or
kid,
have to be
Georgetown,
Sorber to replace the Hart contract, Hartenstein. If it's chess, rest of league play without a queen.
Don't worry. Larry Markin is going to get shut down in about January. That pick is going to be top 8 for Utah. Oh, right. You don't
But
have
the-
to worry.
But
Yeah, agree.
if they're like
Activate the
six,
tank.
if they're six, if they're six
Activate
in the
You'll see
like,
Cody Williams playing 25 minutes a game. You'll be like, yeah, okay.
That is despicable. And if Laurie Marketing just sits around and allows that, that's
What do you mean allows that? What's he meant to do?
Say
I'm
something.
just saying, like, start some ruckus. Kick up some dust, move some couches. What you mean? Move some furniture around this motherfucker. I'm not gonna sit around and watch these dudes play basketball. And here I am, perfectly healthy. I'm in my late 20s, not playing basketball in the prime of my life. That's ridiculous. I don't give a damn about. I don't give a damn about your basketball team. I don't give a damn about your picks. I want to play basketball. So if this is what it means, then get me out of here. That shit is.
And that's what y'all
corny,
paying
man.
me to do, by the way, Ox. That's what y'all
Yeah.
paying me to do.
That shit. I don't know. A lot of people aren't competitors. I don't know. I want to play basketball.
Lowry knows the deal. He signed the
like
extension.
that.
He knew the deal. The deal was you can play until you're compromising our pick. Then we're
Right.
gonna shut you down. But here's this 45 million.
Mars,
There you
and
go.
that's
Take
if
it
that's
graciously.
if that's what it is, then my issue is with Laurie. My issue is with, you know what I'm saying. I have an issue with people that aren't competitors. Like, for instance, I made that comment about the fact that Wemby hates his opponents, or whatever, and there was a bunch of soft ass people in the comments talking about, oh well, you don't gotta hate him. You're just not a competitor. You're soft. You're soft. Love your opponents.
I mean,
man,
Larry
take that
Martin is
kumbaya shit
European.
on somewhere,
Yes,
man. Take that
Larry
kumbaya shit on somewhere. Love your opponent. What are you talking about?
Just so you know, me and Ox, when I was
Next.
young.
Who raised you soft ass people, man?
So
What
you
are you
want to stay till
talking about?
210, 215?
No, let's go. Let's do it. Let's
I'll,
do it.
I'll have a. I'll read the super chat, Swiper.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I just want to make sure because I think some of these address for specific people. DSG Piccolo, $5 super chat. Swiper, thoughts on potentially seeing the Chicago Bears in Northwest Indiana? I don't love the idea. I think moving the stadium out of the city is always one of the things that's a little troubling, but we'll see. We'll find out. They're thinking about moving in 2026. They're building a new stadium, but out of the area that they're in now.
Right.
So,
Northwest Indiana. Wow.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the Chicago Bears anymore.
Well, it'll be like the Dallas Cowboys in Arlington. Remember?
Or the Detroit
Yeah,
Pistons.
but I mean,
and
at least Arlington's closer than, like, for instance, with the Niners. They play down in Santa Clara,
which ain't close, by the way. It's not.
Yeah, but it's it was cheaper to move out there, so they did it. Avery BL, $5 super chat. It's okay for dudes to be soft, finesse. Sanders and Moss are some of the best ever, but were more finesse. Heck, older KD plays soft, but it's still great. Sanders was definitely a finesse player, for sure. But great player nonetheless. Ox, that's football. I don't know. You caught that one.
Thanks, Swiper.
Yeah. Tupac Westside.
Swiper, I know more about football than you, bro.
I'm sure you do.
I was watching press box yesterday. Swiper be yapping, but
so much.
Not at all. Not at all. Shout out.
Swiper, when are you going to put some respect on Phillip Rivers and condemn Cam Newton for being a hater?
I did put respect on Phillip Rivers. Trent is the one that doesn't necessarily respect Phillip Rivers, brother. Tupac Westside 474, $5 super chat. Also, did you guys hear about a dude getting his car stolen? Crazy. Is that when he was?
What's up with Puka's brother? That dude been wilding.
A dude? Who was
he
it?
wanted a car.
A
Dutierro,
the Lakers rookie.
Yeah. When he got
his car all the time.
Yeah,
man.
Puka Nakua's older brother, or Puka Nakua's brother, and one of his friends took his car, and then they got it valeted at some hotel somewhere in LA. The police tracked it, found the car, and then they got arrested. And
but basically, they steal it though. Like,
well, they took it without his knowledge.
Yeah,
which
is stealing.
Like
but it must have been
he stole it.
But it had to be a miscommunication though. That's some crazy stuff.
No, or Puka's brother is just a bully.
Yeah, maybe some people just commit crimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude been tripping.
That's
the one that slapped the fan, right?
Puka's brother?
Yeah, that's the one. That
I don't know anything about that, bro. I'm lost on that. That's crazy.
Oh,
I hope not.
Okay.
Yeah, Puka's brother need to go sit down somewhere. Goodness gracious.
Yo, he took it without his knowledge.
This super chat right here is what burns me.
A tribe called in 3567 $5 super chat. Didn't chill.
Oh, you said French players are soft? Damn.
Oh, chill. French players are soft.
Swiper, what I hate is when people listen to things and they listen to it and they hear it how they want to hear it. First and foremost, we didn't say French players were soft. We said that was the logic on French players. I did not say that Wemby was soft. I did not say that Tony Parker was soft. I didn't say that. That's not true.
Joe, I vividly remember you calling him a French baguette.
I vividly remember that too.
I'm kidding.
But I do remember that. Yeah,
I'm joking.
He lying.
I remember you saying that.
I mean, Ox called him a French shooting guard.
I gotta run.
He started joking about them quitting in World War II. I remember everything.
Well, I will say this though. I mean, I probably said that French.
Oh, Larry Markkanen ruled out tonight.
Yep.
Oh God, Mark.
Injury management.
This is pissing me off. Yes, see, and that's what I was going to see. See, Randy, baguettes are actually crispy on the outside. But anyways, what I might have said that like the French players get that tag, but I know because I remember this too, Chill. Yes, because I was saying I don't think Boris Diaw was soft. I think he had a different way of playing. I don't think Tony Parker was soft. I don't even think Rudy Gobert was soft. What it was he was crying because he didn't get. Was it DPOY or the All-Star game or something? Remember he was crying?
The All-Star game.
Yeah. And then people I know. So what I'm saying is he just let his emotions get the best of him. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that makes you soft. And what it was when Draymond jumped on his back and choked him out. People were like, "Oh, how you gonna let him choke you out?" Well, Draymond's not necessarily a little dude, and if somebody just jumps on your back, I would like to see what y'all would do if Draymond Green jumped on your back and started choking you out. Like that doesn't make you soft,
Yeah, that was a crazy incident. We have
I remember one time. My bad, Swiper. I remember one time I was playing JV football, And I used to play tight end. For some reason, I had moved out to receiver, and I just didn't really know the plays, right? And he called something, I just start running around like shit. But the quarterback, he looking for somebody, he gets cracked. He was a friend of mine, and he ended up getting hurt. And I was like, I felt really bad about that shit. Like, damn, I didn't, I got my quarterback hurt, and I shed a tear. Does that make me soft because I cared about my friend's well-being?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, fine then. That's fine. That's fine. I was soft then.
Okay,
Whatever. I was really sad about that because he got hurt.
Yeah, man. I cried at the end of every season in college because I knew I wasn't going to see these dudes again. So
shit, when Klay Thompson came to Sacramento and put 35 on us and we lost in the state championship, you think I didn't cry? Hell yeah, I was crying.
Another $5 super chat. Then Ox, and you take over from here, brother. Got to make sure I take care of these people in the crib.
No problem. I got you.
Drink more water. $5 super chat. If you're only looking at talent, would the duo of Harden and Westbrook make your top 10 list? Two players that played close to their primes together.
Are you looking at talent?
Russ and Jokic.
James Harden wasn't there yet, though. Oh, you talking about James
No,
Harden?
he's talking about 2020 when they were in Houston.
Yeah, 2020.
Only looking at talent, maybe, but I mean, I don't know for sure. Would I take that over Luka and Kyrie? I don't know.
Luka and Kyrie over who, Mars?
Russ and Harden.
I'm taking Luka and Kyrie.
Hey, man, love y'all. Great job. Pin.
Later.
Mars,
Bye.
chill. Great
Later,
job today,
Slight.
y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow
Later.
morning.
Peace, yeah.
But yeah, maybe it's just looking at talent. But I got Harden and KD, obviously. Like, there's names.
Yeah. We don't have that many super chats left, y'all. We'll get through these. Business Blackwater TV became a YouTube member. Appreciate you. For the Neighborhood, who's been a member for 7 months, sent in a member chat. When them Grizzlies was 2 last year, Penn was japped. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. Neither.
I don't know what japped means either. I gotta Google this.
Me neither. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't know
Thanks
what
for the
jab
members
means.
chat. Appreciate you. Morpheus Chewy has been a member for 3 months. Sent through a member chat and said, "My biggest issue with Mobley is he's too quiet."
Hey,
Is that an issue for y'all?
In the words of Muhammad Ali, not Muhammad Ali. I'm sorry. In the words of Frank Lucas, the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room.
Damn, I need to be louder.
Just because you yap a lot, that doesn't mean that you just because you yap a lot, that doesn't make you tough.
Karamukora sent the super chat and said, "Maybe it's because I'm 17, but I really don't see how Kobe and Shaq aren't 1 and Steph and KD aren't 2.
I mean, I understand it. Different, values when it comes to it. Like, MJ and Pippen are the most accomplished duo ever, and MJ is, maybe the best player ever. So, that kind of helps the argument. But, yeah, they were my 1 and 2.
Is that because you're 17, Mars?
Yep.
I mean, I would say maybe, but Kobe and Shaq were gone before I was born, so I don't know.
Oh, man. Adam West, the Bandit, has been a member for 25 months. That's 2 years, y'all. 2 years. Shout out to you, Adam West, the Bandit. Let's give a shout out to some of the real best duos in the NBA. Kobe and Roy Hibbert.
Troll alert! Troll alert!
KG and Shaq.
Troll alert!
Kwame and Jordan.
Troll alert!
Iggy and Ja. Bron and Vanderbilt.
I forgot Iguodala was a Grizzly.
Adam
never
West
played.
would be in heaven if we had a half-an-hour show where we just talked about Steve Francis.
To be
would be a
fair,
bad
the
show,
amount of
too.
times
That
he's
would not
asked
be a
us to
bad
speak
show.
about Steve Francis, we don't talk about Steve Francis that often. If
He
I'm
would be
being
in
honest.
heaven if we just spent a half hour just talking about Steve Francis.
I wouldn't be mad at the show at that at all. Just
Steve
half an
Franchise was
hour.
nice. Yeah, he was decent. He was a decent little player.
Chill. I think franchise got enough content that we could talk about him for 30 minutes. I think we could do it.
Maybe.
Average Joe 1789. Random, but how many duos are better than peanut butter and jelly? There are a couple, but curious what y'all think.
Burgers and
That's
fries are
you
better than
guys
peanut butter and
doing
jelly. Peanut butter and jelly.
Steak and eggs.
Steak and eggs. Yep. Mm-hmm. Burgers and fries. Yep. I can get with that.
Meat and potatoes, man.
Yep. That's burger. That's a burger and fries.
Yeah, facts. Average Joe sent another super chat. If Jake Paul beats Anthony Joshua, F it. Pin can say it. Wow. Okay.
Say
Let's
what?
move past that. Let's just move past that, Pin. Let's just move past that.
He say what he want when he want. Yeah.
Facts, Pin. You can say whatever you want to say. At Mars from Big Za. Mars, if Laurie gets traded, Jazz young guards could pick up the slack.
Sure.
We'll see the real Ace Bailey. Be True 2310. Who do you guys think were the better duo, Nash and Stoudemire or CP3 and Blake? Swiper, who's running tonight? Who's running tonight? Rams or Seattle? Chill, who's winning tonight? Rams or Seattle?
Seattle's going to beat them tonight. Yep.
Okay. We all know stats.
Then the answer is Nash and Stoudemire, right?
Yeah, we all know Nash and Stoudemire clear, right?
That's what I thought it was. It's Nash.
I don't know about that.
No? Well, I mean,
No,
Amari's
I think
better than
Paul-
Blake, and Nash was better than Chris Paul, so.
I don't think that.
And as a duo, they both were better than both CP3 and Blake.
I'll
As a
just say
duo,
Nash and
they were better.
Stoudemire, I think, we're just like, once again, synergy. It was just.
Yeah, they were better than
That was his
Blake
pick and roll
Griffin.
partner. That was.
Yeah,
Pin,
I
I do want to hear your counter argument, though, Pin. don't mind.
Same argument as we used to dismiss all those duos that were actually trios. That was a trio. Sean Marion, that's a trio. To me, Nash and
DeAndre Jordan made All NBA first team.
that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Why doesn't that count, man?
Sean Marion's better than DeAndre Jordan. Okay, DeAndre Jordan.
Stoudemire is
made it-
better than Blake, and maybe Nash is better than Chris Paul.
I'm really not sure
Yeah,
how
maybe.
much better Stoudemire is than Blake.
But he is better though.
Oh,
That's shocking. I didn't
But
know
he is
that
better.
was the one that was the count. I
He's
didn't think
more
that was
skilled.
the one.
I think Blake is more skilled. I think Blake's a better passer. Better
Clippers
ball
Blake is more skilled than Stoudemire. The one that played with Chris Paul, like the 2012, 13, 14.
If
15,
you
16.
talk about
Blake is more
Detroit,
skilled than
if you
Amari
talk
Stoudemire?
about Detroit, if you talk about
I
Detroit
don't know.
Blake, then you have to talk about Nick Amari.
Like,
Let's be real, Pin.
okay, but like, what is it that Amari does that is better than Blake?
Pretty much everything.
The offensive
everything?
side of the basketball is better.
Like everything on offense.
I think so, Pin. Yes, I've been wrong before.
He's
Pin.
a better
I've been
shooter.
wrong before. I think Amari's better at.
Yeah.
pretty
He's
much
got better block
everything
work.
at basketball.
He's got better
Yeah.
footwork. He's a
For
better
sure,
paint
better
finisher.
footwork.
He's
For
better
sure.
just across
Yeah.
the board.
for sure.
I would say maybe Blake's has like better court vision. Maybe.
I don't even think that's a maybe.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah,
Blake has better
that's
court
fine.
vision.
We just got a few more super chats to get through, fellas. We're almost done. Average Joe 1789. Wemby's not really French anyway. His pops is from Congo. He got a different bloodline. He's
so he
no
not
Gobert.
Victor Wembanyama is 100% French.
One second.
Just because his dad is
One
Congolese.
second. He's no Gobert. All right, let me relax. LOL.
Nice. There you go. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always a very dicey thing when you're talking about players whose parents come from Africa, but they were born or they grew up in Greece or France or
His
whatever.
mother's French.
Yeah, like he's French. He speaks French.
His mother is from France.
Like he
literally.
Yeah, like
He's
so
100%
weird.
a Frenchie, y'all. 100% a Frenchie.
Yes. His
It's
mother's
a little,
from France.
it's a little bit different than the Giannis situation where Giannis
Yes.
is born in one place, but like yeah,
I know what Giannis is not, but I don't want to ruffle no flat feathers. Goon King forever. What do y'all think about Kosher Jokic? Oh, Danny Wolf
Danny
footwork
Wolf,
is
yeah.
a lot faster than I thought. I think he can be a solid piece in the NBA.
What's
I like
wrong
I
with
like
you
him.
dudes? So now
I'm
Luka is the ball
interested.
for everybody now? Is that what's going on?
If you're a big who can pass, you're Jokic. That's just how it works. I'm just interested to see what his long term position is and like where he fits in. But like the skill set is unique, like the handling ability, like the
Yeah.
passing, the shooting, like it's unique. You can see like what the vision was with the Nets with their draft ideology, which is why I'm confused why they would take Jaeger and not Derek Queen if this was their whole ideology. But they did what they did, and
Yeah.
Danny Wolf will see how he looks.
Yep. Well, Average Joe said, think of a prime Kawhi with a prime Duncan. We never saw that. And last but not least, Chef Marshall says 2021 Lakers beat all of them.
He's about the team with Mark Gasol, AD.
Andre Drummond.
Who else was on that team?
Howard.
Drummond. The next year was probably a better case when you had Russell Westbrook, Melo, AD, Dwight, Braun. That's the team with like everyone in their prime.
Yep.
That team could have been something.
Well, that's the end, y'all. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Shout out to y'all once again. We are at the TikTok Awards tonight, and it's all because of y'all. Shout out to the chat. We love y'all. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
Peace,
Later.
y'all.
Merry Christmas.